Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. I can hear myself. Okay, all right. We're sorted. We're back. Okay. That was a bit loud. So, welcome, everyone, to this session. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being with us and following everything. Before we get into anything, I want to do a quick shout out to all of those that have followed us within the past week. We have a thank you to Senos Colazo, Reluctant Artsy, Humble Footman, Second Rate DM, and Unicorn Magic Glitter. Welcome, everyone, to the family that is Crituitous RP. So, before we jump into the adventure, couple quick announcements, reminders. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. You can catch up on our weekly campfire chat by visiting crituitousrp.tumblr.com, and you can get involved in, well, not get involved, but you can read along with the RP as it happens and get involved in other activities such as the upcoming private patron-only campaign that we'll be running this week over by our Patreon. That is patreon.com/Tearvent. We really appreciate all the support and the follows that we have, and we would like to keep encouraging you to share us with everyone and follow, send us to follow other people. Carl has a quick announcement, don't you, Carl?
Yep. This weekend we're participating in the Roll20 Con, which is the online event celebrating the Roll20 community. There's also a charitable component to that. It's benefiting Take This, which is a mental health organization that supports those with mental illnesses and suicide prevention and all that other good stuff. If you want to learn more, you can visit them online at takethis.org. And if you'd like to make a small donation, you can use the link that I'm about to put in chat, and that will also get you some Roll20 art if you are also in a Roll20 game.
Mm-hmm. I personally really enjoy some of the Roll20 charity content. I use it from time to time, and the good feeling that you get from donating to people is also impacted by being able to be reminded regularly of this. So I would really recommend, if you have a spare, anything spare, to donate it to a charity, but preferably this one, during this event. Okay. Now, without further ado, we jump straight into the adventure. Previously on Crituitous RP, it was a bit of a sad time. We had left the wonderful and the almost majestic homeland of the Aarakocra in Kirsabal with a new companion, Bijou, who had joined the group. Unfortunately, as one comes in, one goes out, and not long after the party began heading towards the heart of Uptau, Artus Simba, the very old, very experienced adventurer and wielder of the Ring of Winter, fell in battle, his soul trapped within the Soulmonger machine. Subsequently, Carmen now currently holds the Ring of Winter, and Zola currently wields his dagger, Bookmark. Our heroes then, after burying Artus's body, flew off towards the heart of Uptau and arrived just at about dawn, I believe. At the end of a day's worth of travel, just about dawn, you arrived at the heart of Uptau. The heart is an earth moat, a huge piece of rock that seems to be suspended, floating in the air above the Aldani Basin. It is called the heart because of its triangular shape and the dried out and dead trees that look like ventricles at the top. After landing on top and then following steps down, 4 of our party, that is Zola, Averine, Grigori, and Pijel, went into the heart proper. I believe at this time Shargo, Carmen, and Tower are still outside up on top. Those that entered met a curious new individual by the name of Valindra Shadowmantle. Now, obviously, the party don't know her name yet, but she is a beautiful-looking elven woman, blonde, probably just about 5.5 foot tall, kind of high-spirited individual. She's set up a laboratory of sorts with shelves packed full of books and scrolls inside the heart. She's introduced herself as a scholar. And what do you guys want to do with her right there?
2 points of clarification. Point number 1, I think everyone said that they were coming down. I just don't think everyone moved their tokens. So I'll just throw that over to everyone else to see if they do want to be in here.
I think I asked us some questions last week, so yeah.
We were down there then.
Okay. So let me grab everyone and then move everyone down.
And then point number 2 was that we did get Valindra's name.
Did you get the name?
We got her introduction.
It was one of the last things that happened, though, right?
Yeah. That was...
Valindra Shadowman. Okay, cool.
Casey flipping it out.
Yes, there we go. Yes. It's been a long week. Okay, so with her there and seeing her laboratory, what would you guys like to do?
Well, Valindra, it sounds like we have some common interests, but before I start into a very long discussion, would I be wrong in mistaking you for a fellow practitioner of the arts? Your laboratory looks very well appointed, and I would therefore assume that you have some arcane prowess.
I have a bit. I can do the odd spell here and there. Only really what kind of helps me to perform my studies and my tasks that I need to do, experiment and that sort of thing. Nothing too fantastical, I'm afraid.
We have a whole lot of patrons and well-wishers and folks who are very interested in us succeeding in this mission. Some of them very keenly interested in our progress, and from time to time we'll use arcane measures just to peek in on us. So I wanted to let you know ahead of time if you had the ability to shield yourself from scrying and you valued your privacy. I didn't want to come in here and just not let you know about these things, because you might have something that you don't want prying eyes to see.
Well, here's one of the best things about being in here, and one of the reasons why I'm absolutely loving studying and experimenting inside this heart. You see, you cannot scry into the heart. Isn't that incredible? There's no arcane wards anywhere. There's no spells. I've knocked my mic over. A little too excited. There's no physical magics to involve with. And it doesn't even feel like the heart, I don't know why the heart is flying. I don't know why all divination magic that tries to go into the heart doesn't work. But divination magic headed outwards still works.
While this conversation is going on, Pijo is just going to be kind of rifling through things and looking if anything looks interesting, kind of absent-mindedly, through the books, and eventually making his way towards whatever this shiny light is. On the back.
Towers prying. What's this thing?
Tower will actually, I don't know if Tower will recognize one of these things. It is a circle of arcane sigils on the floor, permanently carved into this space.
Arcana check.
Roll an Arcana check.
Good luck.
Good luck. Good roll. First roll.
Hey!
That is not bad. That's
Not bad with a -1. Okay, you've seen them. You don't know exactly how to manipulate one or use one, but you know that people have used this kind of thing to travel great distances. But you're not too sure how.
Told me about these things.
Pijo, you look around. The books are like the bookshelves and the bookcases are stacked and stuffed tightly. There's papers falling out of everywhere. It's all written in a myriad of different languages that some make sense, some don't. Shorthand versions of the languages as well, so it makes it even harder to be able to manipulate and understand them. But eventually you do move around. That green dot is a continual flame spell.
Ooh.
It's keeping the place well lit.
Nice. I think just Pijo is going to try to pocket just a random book that looks interesting to him.
Gonna try and do it stealthily?
Yes.
This is a scholar's books you're trying to take, so go ahead and roll a stealth check or a sleight of hand.
I think it would do stealth. They're both the same, so I'll roll sleight of hand since that's more apt.
Okay.
Oh, if only I had advantage. But I don't, so.
No, don't.
Would anyone notice that if you're fortunate?
Excuse me, I would maybe you leave it inside the bookshelf unless we're handling it together. Very delicate materials in there. I need to keep an eye on everything at all times. So I'd prefer it if you didn't try to touch any of my books.
Oh, okay. And he's gonna just like push it back. His feathers are all ruffled because he got caught. But he'll listen. He'll obey the rules. Good for now. Good. They're just so interesting looking.
Mm-hmm. So you all look very curious to me. You don't look like Aarakocra. I mean, well, he does, but the rest of you have wings. You're not Azimar, or you don't look Azimar.
No, we're the benefits, or we're the beneficiaries of a very sacred ritual of a group of Aarakocra. They recognize the importance of our mission and bequeath these wings to us to speed us along.
Oh, okay. One moment, and she'll turn around. Aarakocra can give wings? Question mark.
Question mark.
Yes. She turns to Zola. Yes.
Just to clarify the setting here before we go too heavy into the roleplay, you said before that there was something about the water that falls from this place being red.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like red water, or does it?
So the water is clear where you are right here, but you roll a perception check. Okay. Quite easily, you're able to tell that at the base of the little pool of water, there are a lot of red pieces of rock or crystal at the bottom. And as the water seems to trickle out towards the exit and then drip down the side, it seems to pick up more and more of these little flakes of this red rock and red crystal as it leads towards the exit. So the fact that it looks red, you can tell quite clearly, is because it just has the little pieces of red rock in it as it falls. But that does also tell you the water in here is slowly pulling away little pieces of the rock of the earth moat. Eventually, hundreds of years from now, the earth moat will run out of rock.
No.
Can I stick my finger in the stream?
Yes, you can. It feels it's water. There's a little bit of dust if you touch the base that rubs off onto your fingers. It feels a little coppery almost.
I'd like to see if I can pick up a small handful of that red stuff and kind of examine it. And what is this?
It's interesting. It's naturally grown red rock. It's strange. I've not seen rock grown in different colors in many different places, and it's one of the reasons why I've been here. That was the red water kind of attracted me, and then I wanted to learn more about the legend of the 9 gods, and so I came here to be able to study and listen to what Ubtao has to say. He's not very talkative, so I've been trying to study as best as I can, with limited resources, obviously.
Do you think it'd be bad if I kept some?
What is it the people always told me? When it comes to Ubtao, if you're capable, it's permissible.
Those are my feelings. I want to pocket some.
Okay. You now have a handful of little bits of rock. So, for what reason do you have to actually be in here? I know you said you've got a serious mission that's going on. What, pray tell, is it that you have to do?
Well, you mentioned a few minutes ago the darkness across the land that you are keenly interested in finding and controlling and destroying, perhaps. This same darkness has drawn us to this location. We have found that the Red Wizards of Thay have an interest in this as well, and we noted that many were congregated in this area, which drew us closer. We wished to examine it. We thought perhaps the darkness was emanating from here, but if you're here and only are searching, I presume that we are mistaken.
There's no darkness in here. Yeah, I have seen some of those red wizarding folk around. A lot of people on the floor camping out, trying to get up here, but they've not been able to. I've helped in some cases to defend this sacred place. But the darkness. We must stop the darkness. We must.
Well, perhaps.
I have a quick. Oh, sorry. No. Sorry. I'll wait till. Yeah. It was just an out of character question. How big is the space we're in compared to the size of the actual heart of Ubtao?
So, I mean, it's 65 foot across.
Yeah.
The
I guess
heart
like
is. Yeah. The height wise, the chamber that you're in opens up in a dome-like structure. So, give me a moment. If we judge it as a little bit realistic, it's probably about a 30-foot tall space.
Okay.
But the floor, you can make the assumption that the floor of this little chamber you're in, there is so much of the rock underneath, a good 60 foot or more below you.
Okay. Thank you. I was trying to gauge if there might be other stuff in underneath or not.
Nope.
All right.
What? Is this a cage?
Yes.
Sorry, that's character. That's not character.
You got the same question as Talon.
Is there something in there?
Nope. Nothing in there. Would you like to get inside?
I'm gonna put my hand in the cage.
It's a cage. There's nothing weird about the cage. It's just a metal cage. It doesn't feel magical. Doesn't feel like there's anything inside of it. It's just a cage.
If anything nips me.
Yeah. No, nothing nips you. Nothing's in there that's invisible.
Sometimes a cage is just a cage.
Yes. Isn't that the way of things, though? Sometimes.
This cage.
Oh, in case some experiments go awry, I might need to, lock a thing or two, maybe even myself, up from time to time.
Perhaps we can compare notes on this darkness. If it's not here, then obviously it has to be elsewhere. Do you know where we could look perhaps next to gain more clues?
I have actually been able to gather some more information about this thing. I have learned, I listened to the people below, the Red Wizards and that folk, listened to some of the things they had. They called this, now come in close, that's nice and quiet, they call this a soulmonger.
We've heard the same, actually.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you know where it is?
I've managed to narrow it down. I know that the soulmonger is somewhere within the city of Omu. But my sources tell me that people have been scouring and are scouring the city of Omu for the soulmonger already, and no one's been able to find it. My studies have led me to believe that the secret is with the 9 gods. And so I have been here studying the legend of the 9 gods to try and figure out the solution. Perhaps if we're on the same sort of track, we can help one another.
This sounds very fortuitous.
Mm.
So when you say that the 9 gods hold the clue as to where we could find the soulmonger within Omu, is this in a very literal sense that we have to speak with the 9 gods, or is it the legend itself tells a story that we have to decipher in order to find the location?
Speak to the gods themselves. I've not actually tried that before. That could be a good idea.
So what have you tried? So we know not to do those as well.
Well, my abilities are fairly limited. I've just been trying to figure out the riddle of the legend, and I was hoping to maybe head over to Omu to see if the legend had anything to do with the city itself. But well, I've not actually made that journey yet, you see.
Well, it seems like that's our next destination. Would you like to come with?
I would love to come with you. That would be fun.
Excellent. Well, we have these wings that allow us to cover great distances through the air. We find that it is a safer mode of transport than just traipsing through the jungle. As our guide, Shago, will tell you, there's all sorts of undead creatures down there, and we wish to stay clear of them.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to have to deal with any undead. Undead can really ruin the day, ruin your mood.
Forgive my ignorance, but who are the 9 gods?
A newcomer to the legends, I see. Well, please sit down. And she realizes there are no chairs and pulls along a crate or something for you to sit down. Now, just let me tell you a story.
Piju's going to get very visibly anxious, antsy, and just keep on poking around at things while this is happening.
Tao's going to control. He loves stories.
Mr. Bird person, please keep your hands to yourself.
Piju, knock it off. We're guests in her lab.
Okay. Fine.
Oh.
Just seems like there's all this cool shiny stuff, and I've never seen things like it before, and it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, you get it. You're a brain person. Averine?
It's a glorious lab, to be sure.
She waves a hand, and you see a physical manifestation of a hand appear in dust in front of you, as a mage hand just stands in front of you and just.
Pijo will, with an impetuous look on his face, sit down and just kind of ruffle his feathers while he waits.
Good little boy. Listen to your elders. That's always good. All right. So, the 9 gods. Well, here's a story. A long time ago, long time ago, Ubtao got a little bit tired of his people and decided to up and leave. And that turned his people got a little bit sad. And in his absence, 9 spirits came and took residence within the city of Omu. And the people of Omu worshipped them as gods. But they were obviously lesser creatures than Ubtao himself, these little tricksters. The legend, and I believe you have at some point had the legend read to you at some point, you'll find as a handout in Roll20, tells of a tale of how the 9 trickster gods worked together to try and get Ubtao's attention to help and bless the people of Omu once more. And eventually, working together, they did manage to get Ubtao to allow the rains to come back and bless his city. And so these gods were worshipped. My understanding is the gods also were killed not too long ago. And so that is what I'm trying to figure out is, one, how do you kill a creature that can be a god? And who did it?
What's your evidence that they actually got killed? I thought that they just, many of us just think that they disappeared, like Ubtao did.
Ubtao left traces of himself that seem to prove that Ubtao is still alive and active. You can still feel his power in the world. The trickster spirits, they did use power. They did show power to their people, but all evidence of their power just stopped at one point.
That doesn't mean they're dead.
No, but... Okay, maybe not. But they stopped blessing people. And that's a sure sign of a dead god.
Sometimes a god gives up.
Fickle, aren't they? Yes.
What is it that makes you think that the trickster gods, or the story of the trickster gods, holds the key to finding the soulmonger? The soulmonger seems to be a recent development, and the trickster gods, as you say, are gone. What would this story? What leads you to believe that this story has any clues for us?
Roll a persuasion check.
Boop. I'll use luck.
Okay. So roll another d20. Reroll is an 11. Just seems to be that as I was investigating some of the red wizardy folk from below, the undead fellows, and they seemed to be fascinated by it. That's what leads me to believe that the legend has something to do with it, because other people are studying the legend.
Well, if I recall the legend correctly, it seemed to suggest that each of the 9, or 8 of the 9 anyway, there were 4 opposing 4, or at least one opposed another. So each trickster god had an opposing trickster god who they were adversarial towards. And then there was one last one, the snail who seemed to not have an opposing force. What do you think that could hold for us as far as clues?
I think if you listen to the story, it tells a step-by-step interaction, as it were. I think if we were to follow what they talk about, what they mention, maybe study some of the animals that are included in here, that the trickster gods took upon the form of, like the Sioux monsters, the Eblis, and a Froggermoth. If we were to study these things, then we might be able to learn a little bit more. I'm very interested in that Unk, that ninth fellow that doesn't have an opposer. Perhaps if we can find some clues or understanding of Unk within the city of Omu, we might find a clue that helps us to unlock this.
I see no flaw in your logic. It seems
Of course.
airtight. All right, well, then I guess all that remains is for us to head out.
You've been traveling for a while. Rest yourselves. Sit down, don't worry.
Well, I would like to have a look around your laboratory, if I may. Could
You're
you
welcome
give me a
to
tour?
go. You're welcome to go anywhere you like, except in the corridor here.
And does her voice do that?
Yes. You can't go in this room.
Oh.
But of
He
course,
just
let me show you
immediately
around.
looks very intently in that room.
Okay.
Doesn't move, but he's just into it.
Can I hover, just nod at her and be like, okay. Good story.
Mm-hmm.
Great story, great story. And I'm just going to walk past. Can I do an Arcana check on the room?
Yep. What are you looking for, though? So, Arcana check aside, what is it you're actually doing?
I want to just see if there's a portal there or something. I'm just thinking if she can't fly and she's on this flying heart, there's got to be some way of her getting on and off it.
Yeah. So an Arcana check won't necessarily be able to identify that specific of detail.
Okay.
Be able to guess that there is arcane energy within the air, and you know you're going to trigger that. You know that's going to be a case. An Arcana check will be to see your knowledge of magics. To be able to pick out that level of detail, you need to use, like, detect magic.
Okay.
So Valindra walks over to Avarine, puts her arm out, ready to hook on, and let's go. And
I'm
she'll
gonna roll
start.
an insight check real quick because she's being real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with being weird? You're a bird.
She's really friendly. Too friendly.
And the voice thing, like
Yeah.
normal people don't speak in a nice manic way and then say, "Don't do this thing."
Yeah, I think we're all going to inside.
Oh my God, we're so bad at people.
I already let Avery know that there's something fishy up with this lady. Last episode.
Unfortunately, you can't gain any sort of additional insight into her. Her mindset, she seems very closed. You have to take everything from face value.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic on my Firbolg trait and have a look around the room.
You will notice she's a little bit, like she notices that you cast Detect Magic, unless you're trying to do it stealthily.
What's the components of that? It's Firbolg's magic. Yeah, I'll try sleight of hand, see what I can do.
Okay.
Okay. You notice that she notices you. Okay. and she gets a little agitated. She continues to move Averine around to show Averine the bookcases and the kinds of studies that she has in here. This section is all of the lore that I know about the city of Omu, and then this is all the stuff I know about Uptown and so on. But she is keeping a keen eye on Tower. Tower, you cast magic. That gives you a 30-foot radius.
Can I do another insight check on the stink eye?
Yes, roll an insight check. You can't really tell why she's giving you a stink eye. With the detect magic, first of all, your senses are overloaded at first because you can detect a lot of magic in the area. The whole Earth mode seems to have a form of enchantment magic on it. Valindra seems to be giving off magic.
Oh.
All of you seem to be giving off magic.
Not me, probably, right?
No,
because I'm
Joe.
I'm just a
Everyone
regular
except
bird man.
Joe is
Oh, what
giving
about me? 'Cause I'm
some
protected.
form of magic.
I'm technically not giving off any magic.
Well, the wings, I assume that's what the...
Protected from detect magic, though. Oh no, you
Yeah.
are detected from any divination magic.
Technically not divination.
Is it not divination?
It is a divination spell, but I don't. The specific wording of the Ring of Winter does state that. Let me double check. It defies attempts to magically locate it. Neither the ring nor its wearer can be targeted by any divination magic or perceived through magical scrying senses. So you can't be targeted.
Okay.
All right. In this situation, you're not targeted.
Right, okay.
So you do show up as magical.
Okay.
But everyone, including Valindra, is showing up as arcane. Her chest is magical. The little chest of drawers.
Oh,
No. The chest that's next to the cage is magical. The circle that you had seen previously etched into the floor is magical. The corridor that she had said, "Don't go down," is magical.
What kind of magic is coming? All right, so what kind of magic am I seeing from the magic chest, and what type of magic am I seeing in the corridor?
Trying to think of what are the schools.
The magic chest.
Because it's always awkward when you have a magical effect and I don't quite know which kind. I would say the chest has illusion magic on it. The room has a form of conjuration magic. The corridor, I should say. But she keeps an eye on you as she's walking around. And then she moves over to the next bookcase, moving a little bit quicker to move around towards where Tower is.
I was just going to choose a walk around.
You just have to-
Just gonna say, I'm having a full loop of everything in the room.
This is some of the things that I've collected on the Red Wizards and the information I've managed to gather of the group that are below. I believe, I have reason to believe, there are 2 different sects of Red Wizards.
This coincides with our findings as well. I'm glad to hear we're on the same page.
Fantastic. It's working out quite good that you've been able to confirm all of my findings.
Oh.
Are these tree roots?
Yes, they're tree roots from above reaching down.
Are they enough to obscure Tower?
If you roll a stealth check.
Right. The question is it enough to obscure it from sight partially for a moment, so I can cast invisibility and then run into the corridor?
So
Don't get killed.
you don't know if it definitely will or definitely won't. You can believe you might be able to hide behind it, but you might fail to hide behind it. You might fail to cast invisibility quietly, and you might fail to run across the room quietly.
What about wild shaping into something not very big? I don't know what the smallest size you can wild shape into is, but
It's my hidden step ability. I don't think I'm actually casting it. I think it's just
Okay.
You can
inherent.
magically turn invisible until the start of your next turn or until you attack.
Yeah, I'm not actually casting anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hidden step.
My hidden step feature. However, I'll carry on. I just want to carry on walking around and make sure I get full coverage of this with the thing. I'm just gonna.
I just want to roll a quick perception to see if I can just see through this opening anything in there, or if it's just an empty room.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah.
It looks like an empty room.
Okay. Well, Pijo's not interested in dying today, so he's not. He's following the scary lady's orders well enough. But...
I'm going to try and catch Zona's eye and just kind of indicate to the chest.
So, Valindra,
Yes.
where do you get all your supplies from so far out from civilization? Because I have this I came across this extra spell book. It's got all these evocation spells, which are not terribly interesting to me. But I wonder, like the components where we copy our spells down. Where do you get those?
Well, I started out with a lot, but obviously making all of my notes, I run out of pen and paper quite quickly. I do make regular trips back home.
Well, perhaps, since we're besties now, you wouldn't mind sharing some of those components with me, since we're going to be traveling to Omu together.
Well, if you say you need a bit of paper and ink, I can certainly lend you some. She'll start rummaging through some of her stuff, and here you go.
So, mechanically, to copy to copy a spell, I need 50 gold pieces worth of materials for every level of the spell. So whatever those materials are, I'm just seeing if she has a surplus and if she likes me well enough to just give me some of those.
She's willing to give you 150 gold worth of materials. Not 150 gold, but 150 gold worth of materials.
Perfect.
I regularly go home to get some more, so don't worry. It's not a problem.
You're a dear. You're such a hospitable hostess.
Can Tao peruse the books again and see if there's any books that are written in Celestial?
I was also going to respond to Tower and Thieves Can't be like, which means stealing is bad, but I don't know if he knows that.
No, I don't know if these can.
That means go for it. Do it.
As you move around to this point, the bookcases all appear to be magical. Do you spend an action focusing on the bookcase to figure out what kind of magic is on there?
Yes.
Illusion magic.
I should have tried harder with that book.
Eventually, after she's encountered you, excuse me, my dear, if you wouldn't mind, just for a moment. She will walk up to Tower. Found anything interesting?
This is a very interesting bookcase.
Yes, there's a lot in here that's very interesting. Very dangerous for people that don't quite understand what they're doing.
I'm going to whisper to Tower. I'm going to can I message Tower? And just be like, back up, back up, back up, back up, back up.
See, while that's happening, Pijo is actually standing up to make it known, at least to Tower, that he would be willing to help him. With this
You're squaring up to that. Come on then.
So it's like the little bird in the Looney Tunes cartoons, pops his chest up.
Have I offended you somehow?
No, not at all. I'm just warning you that some magic, some things in the world are a little bit more dangerous than they may look, and you wouldn't want to accidentally get yourself into a little bit of danger now, would you? So I would advise, I've studied this stuff a lot, and I know a lot about this, that perhaps it would be a good idea that maybe you don't touch anything without me present. Just for your safety, of course.
Well, you are present, though.
And I would like to be the only one to handle my notes, just in case they are damaged or something.
What, like notes like this? And I'm
No, you
don't. Hand it to her. What is in this one?
These particular notes, and very delicate, very old notes. This is the contents of this are spells that some old mages have collected, magics that don't quite work anymore that I had been studying. Please, can I? And she'll take the book off you if you don't stop her. And then she'll put it back in the bookcase.
How did the book feel?
Like a book?
It's illusion magic. I know it's illusion magic. He pretty much figures out this is an illusion. Can he see through it? How can he see that this is a real bookcase? Is it an illusion?
It is, by the way that it feels, it is definitely a real book. So whatever illusion magic is on the book is not making a book appear out of nowhere. There is definitely a book in your hands.
Okay, but it's possibly being camouflaged as something that is not.
Possibly.
Right.
You wouldn't mind, please? And she'll put it back.
Valindra.
Yes.
I don't mean to be a bother, but there is a particular spell that I feel like we may need in the days to come. And I'm wondering if perhaps in your tomes, or if you carry your own spell book, or perhaps a spare scroll, if you have the spell that removes curses, either upon a person or an item.
The remove curse spell. I have known people who know the spell. Trying to think, do I have it in my notes here? Let me check. Possibly, yes. I do happen to have the remove curse spell available well, it's in my notes, but it's very delicate. You know the nature of copying spells. There is a chance you might degrade the original, and we don't want that, do we?
Is there a service that I could perhaps provide that would set your mind at ease?
If you wouldn't mind, while you are... I will give you the materials to be able to make a copy of the spell, so that you can copy it from one piece of paper that I keep to a piece of paper you can take with you elsewhere. And while you're copying it, I keep hold of your spellbook. Does that sound appropriate?
So just so I make sure I understand correctly, she'll let me copy the spell, but not into my spell book?
She'll let you copy it down into a form that you can read from, and I don't imagine a spell book as being so specific that the spell has to be on a page that was in the book to begin with. So I would believe that if you copy the spell anyway down onto a piece of paper, you can affix that spell to your spell book and include it later.
It's like a 3-ring binder.
Okay? That sort of thing.
Okay, so that, just for mechanics and balancing purposes, if that were the case, then does that mean I could just rip the pages out of the other spell book that I acquired and just put them into mine?
No, because every wizard
Right, 'cause I had the copy.
inscribes the spells into their own personal hand. You have to translate the spell into your own mechanic. That's why spell scrolls also won't work in that way. You can't just take a spell scroll and put it in your book. You have to translate it into your own understanding and then put those notes in the book for safekeeping. Okay?
Well, I do think we were at the end of our travels for the day, and I imagine copying this spell would take 6 hours or so. So before I commit, let me just confer with my compatriots.
Tao's going to take a load off and sit on the chest.
Is he now?
Not for long.
Turns out the chest is a mimic. It eats you.
So we have 8 hours of downtime and 8 hours of resting in our traveling day, and we have another 8 hours of travel on our wings. Is everyone okay if I spend some time copying this spell?
I see no objections.
Okay.
We've got time.
Well, Lindsay, if you don't mind, I would consider this a very generous gift, and I'll hand her my book, and I will sit down and start scribing away.
At about the time that you start scribing away, the detect magic wears off. She takes the book and she walks right over to Tower, stands in front of him. I need access to my chest, please.
No, sorry.
She reaches into her robes, pulls out a key, unlocks the chest, opens it up, places the book in the chest, and closes. What?
Look inside.
Roll a perception check. Okay. Let's see how well she has hidden this. Not very, apparently. You notice there, amidst some of the little simple bits of cloth or basic clothing and things that a person might have in their personal stores, you do notice the hilt of a dagger. The hilt of which looks like a curious form of metalwork that is strangely familiar. You've seen a dagger like this before, with a strange glowing pommel that seemed to have a pearl in the end that seemed to glow with a misty white hue inside of it. Roll a history check.
Isn't that going to be good?
It's alright.
Before she closes it, you swear she has a dagger identical to the one that killed Sildar.
Oh.
Sandir.
Sandir, that's the one. Sildar is someone else.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's a different
The other
event.
S name. Yeah.
Yeah. Sandir. Killed Sandir.
I know, like, if Grigori was here, would Grigori have seen any of that, or just
Grigori was not aware of any of that.
Okay.
As Tower was the one that was next to it that did just happen to see it. Then as she closes the lid, she locks it. You're welcome to sit back down there if you so wish.
Oh dear.
He's going to look a little bit white with that.
But you're blue. How is that?
Pale blue,
baby blue. And then nod.
Yes.
And then sit down.
Good. So you're all welcome to rest here for the night. It's well protected. I don't really have much for sleeping arrangements. Being an elf myself, I usually just kind of go into a trance at my desk, and then that's it. I don't really sleep that much. So while you rest, I'm going to get back to my studies. And she will go and sit down on her desk and begin. Yep. Yes.
You gonna make sure that we're safe, Valindra?
Of course, no one will get up. I will absolutely make sure that nothing happens to any of you while you are asleep.
I have faith in that.
Good. I'm glad you trust me.
Do I have faith in that? I don't trust him.
I don't have faith in that.
Can I roll an inside check because he's so suspicious now?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable either.
Mm-hmm.
My best insight. I'm creeping up. I did 14, 15, and 16.
Creeping up. Unfortunately, Tower and Carmen don't really gain any additional. They trust her words. Pijo, he's starting to see through some of the ruse.
Is there a particular part of what she's saying that tipped Pijo off, or is it just a general sense of distrust towards?
Just a general sense of distrust.
Cool.
Okay. What she said is fairly honest and true. You do get a sense that she has no reason to attack you, and she's not going to. But you do get an odd feeling about her.
Yeah. All right.
So,
You wanna check out the wings and how they're attached?
yes.
No
please.
cuts. Don't cut me.
I won't cut. Just want to kind of get a sense for how they were created. If you wouldn't mind just lying on my table real quick.
Okay, no problem. Where is it?
So she will push her stuff to one side and off the table right there, and she'll lay you down, face down, please. Just hold your head over the edge, right on the edge of the table here. And
You got it. Be gentle.
Of course I will. And she, I'm going to need tools. And she rushes back off to the bookshelf, comes back out.
Can Tower beckon Gregory over?
I'm sure he can.
And he'll want to tell Gregory, and I know Gregory's not here to thingy this, but he's the one that would want to know this. Quite quietly, he will say,
Stealth check.
Oh.
So she's she's working with Zola. She is a little bit distracted because of the stuff that's going on. You don't quite get advantage.
Oh, I could do with advantage.
You don't get advantage on it. She gets disadvantage on her perception in that regard. Unfortunately, she... you think you're quiet. So, what were you going to say to Gregory?
Gregory, she has a dagger the same as the one that killed Sildor. Sandir.
Knowing how loud that is, he's just going to say, "That's nice," and turn around and walk away. Try to diffuse the situation quickly.
Mm-hmm. She is looking at the wings, looking at how they're attached, the wingspan. She starts playing with some of the feathers. Do you mind? I don't mean to hurt you in any way, but do you mind if I take a feather, kind of experiment with the feather itself?
I don't know what that would do. Yeah, try it.
Okay. She'll try to find a feather that you don't exactly need in order to fly. One of the smaller edge pieces, and dink, pulls it out. It feels like a hair is being pulled out. Interesting. And she'll walk over to her table, put it on a little dish and then start waving magics over it and experimenting. It starts to glow different colors. It's all interesting to watch her work. She seems enraptured by it. But she's also keeping an eye on Tower.
I'm going to.
Tower's going to. You're scribing at the moment, aren't you? I'm going to grab a spare pen and a spare bit of paper and just put the bookcase and the chest are an illusion. Chest has dagger. This dagger the same that killed Sandir to Averine and see if she can see it.
Okay.
I'll read that.
While you're doing that, Pijo, what are you doing? And then what is Zola doing?
Oh, I was actually also going to approach Averine just to warn that we should probably just get the spell copied and not stay longer because there's something fishy.
Carmen's going to cause a distraction.
It's time for a song.
It's time for a sing
Before Carmen does, though, Zola.
This is actually going to be Grigori. Does he know what the use of the pearl on the hilt of the dagger is?
Yes. He understands the pearl on the hilt of the dagger is a repository for a soul.
Yeah, he'll very quietly from the other side of the room say, that is a lich's weapon.
Stealth check.
Do I not get advantage for being on the other side of the room or anything?
Oh, she's got incredible hearing.
Okay. He would expand on saying, I don't know why she has it. There could be a myriad of reasons why she has it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
That's
What
how
is-
I roll. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's normal.
He didn't gauge the sound right because Tower was so loud, so he was loud too. And
Zola hears it. And that's enough of an indication. Yeah. It's enough of an indication that Zola, that Valindra hears it.
He's still going to litter it with a whole bunch of possibilities. You know, we don't know what it is. Don't know what's going on. Don't draw any conclusions.
Carmen, what are you doing during all of this?
So I'm going to notice that all these guys are, like, all on that side of the room. Zola's on a table. This is pretty bad. So I'm going to just very quickly just go, sorry, I missed it. Where else did you say you were from?
Oh, I didn't say.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's normally something that I ask straight. I'm Carmen, by the way. Where do you mind if I ask where you're from? Because like you're an elf and I'm half elf, so I'm curious.
No, I don't mind if you ask where I'm from.
Where are you from?
honest.
Oh, I'm from a place far, far away to the north, kind of off. You probably haven't really heard of it. A little town called Everland. It's up way up there, you know.
Would I have heard of that?
Yes, you would have heard of it.
Okay. Oh, I know where you're from because I'm Northern as well. So I know where you're from. So that's amazing.
Wonderful.
That's really cool. Would you like me to play you a tune? Because I've got my lute and I can play you a little song from your hometown if you'd like.
Maybe. Are you particularly talented with said item?
Yes, she is. She's so talented.
Okay.
Make you cry.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say I'm all right. To be honest.
You're so much better than all right. You make you make money this way. This is your job.
Yeah, that's
She's
true.
professional.
That's true.
Okay. So, what? Pray tell. Go ahead. Play.
she's just going to start playing and just start singing. But what I'm going to do is, while she's having a little jig, she's going to be like, dling, 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 and just start to stand in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then get her eyes on her. And then as she's got her eyes on her, bring them back round. So try and just get her eye contact. And
Roll a performance check.
yes. Oh, come on.
As you're there,
Can I
you
show
see
up?
her eyes. Yes. Can you use luck on skill checks?
Hold on.
I believe so, yeah. So, yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. You can. Go,
Yes.
Go for it.
I will.
D20. Roll D20. Oh, same again.
As you begin to do your performance in front of her, you see her eyes lock into yours. There is an age behind those eyes that seems intent on what you're doing. And then as you begin to dance around, her right eye follows you. As her doesn't.
Okay.
Her left eye seems to be
Oh, I hear music starting. That's not good.
on the people across the room. She'll turn back to Zola. This is absolutely fascinating. I appreciate the opportunity to study your wings. I won't take any more of your time. You're welcome. Get yourself comfortable. Don't worry about everything that's going on. I will just be back in a moment, and she will walk over to her chest, pick it up.
Oh, is there intent here? Is there bad intent here?
Yeah, hang
Yeah,
on.
perception to show if there's intent.
Roll.
This all happened
Insight.
6 hours later, right?
Brain starts scribbling now. Oh god.
So to be able to detect if she's has malicious intent in her behavior, you need to roll insight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Come on,
You can see what she's doing because she's not being very obvious about it. No, she's not being very hidden about it.
I am not comfortable with this. I'm going to move over.
I am fully engrossed in this spell and its details.
Hmm. None of you get any sort of malicious intent from her. She picks up the chest, and you'll need a 24 to be able to detect something. She walks over to the do not go in there corridor, and she'll step inside and just place it down on the floor, and then come back out.
Oh, she put the chest in the corridor?
The chest inside the corridor that you do not go in.
The chest with Averine's spellbook.
Yes.
She's so nice.
And then she
I'd like to black out.
Well, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I must get back to my studies. As I said, you're welcome to relax, stay here. The water is perfectly clean, so you can wash yourselves in it if you need to. If you need any actual food and drink, I can get some for you. Don't worry about that. But it was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Are you leaving?
No, I'm just getting back to my studies.
Oh, okay. All right. If you need anything, let me know. You've been so gracious.
I'm sure I will be okay. But thank you. And so she gets back to her note taking and scribing in a book. What are you guys doing during this time?
Edging out the door.
I'm writing.
Mm-hmm. He's only about half hour into his 6 hours of note taking, so.
Tao's going back outside and he's going back to the top.
Yeah, so's Carmen.
I gotta check something actually. Hang on.
Shadow, come play with me.
Okay. And he will run into the water. He'll then kick up off the floor, go up through the hole in the tree above, spile around a little bit, and then dive bomb down. Make a nice
Right.
big splash.
Very impressive.
Be careful, these are costly components. Don't be getting the water all over here.
Oh, sorry. I am sorry, Irene. I won't do that again.
Jiminy crickets.
Splash. So, Pijo, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna just preemptively, because Pijo didn't trust her earlier, cast a Hunter's Mark on her, but it only lasts for an hour, so I'm not gonna bother with that. Just so I could keep an eye on her at all times. But because I have to have 3rd level spells to cast to last more than an hour, so I'm gonna not do that.
Okay.
If I can multitask, I'll just, while I'm copying the notes, I'll call out to Valindra. Say, so, these Thayans, you say there's 2 camps. Do you know the identities of the folks who are in charge?
I know that there's one group. They're the traditional Thayans. They follow the Emperor Zaztam. And then there's another group that don't follow him, that seem to follow some other individual. I haven't really been able to figure out who they're particularly following. But I have noticed that they all have seemed to tattoo themselves with some form of brand in their forehead.
Is it like a triangle?
It is like a blue triangle that seems to glow or give off a little bit of smoke.
We killed some of those.
We came across some of them the other day.
Well, you must be absolutely incredible fighters if you killed a red wizard. Well done.
Are the ones with the triangles the ones that are up underneath us?
I believe so, yes. I haven't checked all of their foreheads, but I do believe the ones below us do belong to that other sect that seem to worship some other being.
Do you know how many there are?
A couple hundred, maybe 1,000 or so. I stopped counting after a while.
Okay. So it would be a bad idea for us to just go down there and hunt a little bit.
It depends on your capabilities. I certainly wouldn't do it.
So have you come across any that you've had to do battle with?
One or two, and unfortunately they've been very powerful. I've had to run away and get away from these people. I'm not that powerful, you see. I'm very limited kinds of magic at my disposal, I'm afraid. And so I've not really given myself too many opportunities to engage with them.
Can I insight that?
Yes, you can insight check that. That is a blatant lie. She is way more powerful than what she's trying to tell you.
Okay. I mean, it's not like a magical lie detector that I know exactly what she's lying about. But I was trying to figure out if she has slain a red wizard who killed Sandir and taken his dagger, is what I was trying to move towards.
You can't get that sort of information out. But she's definitely, everything she did say was all false.
Copy.
Yep.
I'm gonna kind of lay on the edge of the pool here and wistfully be like, so I noticed something's weird up with you. I got the sense, but I don't know what it is. If you are worried about us being weird around you or suspicious, that's probably why. And I just want to let you know that we're pretty understanding folk. I mean, we're in Chelt, the land of common causes. if our causes remain common, I.
Sal's upstairs going, I do not trust her. Something is up. Everything is an illusion. We need to do something about this woman.
I don't think I'd mind who exactly you are as long as we went our separate ways afterwards.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh.
Yeah.
She walks over to you and very quietly dips her feet into the pool. I've been burned a few too many times to be able to give the full truth about myself. But please know that I don't mean you any harm. You are perfectly safe around me. I just need to keep myself to myself. And you'll watch as her arms seem to shift in her vision. They go from this glow of an elven creature to more like a deathly look about them. The skin is tight to the bone. There appears no muscle, like the arms have atrophied a long time ago. Scar tissue all over the place. She shows you up to the elbow, and then the illusion goes back up. I just need to keep a little bit hidden for my own sanity and sake. That's all.
Understood. And thanks for bringing me in. I appreciate the trust. I will not. If you give me no cause to have my hackles raised at you, they won't get. So thanks. And I'll offer a hug because she's been burned, and that touches me.
She'll hug you back. Oh.
Would anybody else have seen this happen with the arm?
Strangely enough, you could be looking right at her.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I'm gonna take a nap now.
Stuff. You guys kind of nap down. Unless you do anything, everything will stay calm for the next 6 hours, and Averine will finish her scribing.
I'll send a message home.
You'll send a message home. What's the message going to be? And who's it going to be to?
Okay. Message is going to be to my mother, Osrin.
Okay.
And message is going to be, I'm worried. How is Dad? Couldn't get hold. Really upset. At Heart of Uptown. Wearing Ring of Winter. I'm sorry. May need help with it.
Okay. Your father is fine. The idiot got himself into trouble.
Surprise.
Please be very careful with that ring. We are trying our best, but forces... How many have I done? I think this is
I think
one.
you have 2 left.
Yeah, but forces act against.
Oh. Okay.
So you get a sense that Osrin and Erin, at least, are active doing something elsewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna message again.
Message or sending?
Sending, yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got 3 third levels, so I can send once more, and then I can do the tiny hut. So I'll send once more and ask, so happy. Where are you? Who is after you? Is any of our uncles with you to help. Where the hell is Duon?
Asshole.
We are under water deep,
Oh.
following leads. So therein, Erin, Osrin, and the crew are engaging in the next adventure.
Okay.
Okay. What else did you ask?
Where's Duon?
Okay.
Where the hell is Duon?
Duon is fine. He's with, quote, friends.
Oh no, he's with the leggies. Okay.
But that's what you get.
I'm so much happier now.
Good.
Right. Can I see the elation?
I'm sure.
I'm going to jump on you. I'm so happy I need to hug somebody, so I'm literally going to rugby tackle Tower. Like, he's okay, he's alive! And I'm just going to, like, just jump on him.
He'll give her a big hug. He'll give her a big hug and just see. I said everything would be fine. Now I'm going to stare at the ring.
You're staring at my chest. So I'm doing that.
Could be. Right, he's going to, I'll give a hug. So we settle in. Do you need to put up the hut? Do you wish to do it by yourself?
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll set up in a minute. I need to wait for everybody to get up here. If we're setting the hut upstairs, then I need everybody to be with me. Do you want to hold this for a bit?
No.
Are you sure?
I feel if we pass it around, we are only making the odds more.
I try and hold his hand to lift his hand, put it in his hand.
No.
I can't actually physically lift his hand.
No, you can't.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He
Let's go.
he feels like
Just.
he feels like he's playing Russian roulette.
Okay.
You have some resistance to this. Others, like myself, may not.
Okay.
And it seems foolish to play chance by handing it around. We know you can.
Well, you know.
I trust you. I trust you. I know that you have this under control.
Okay.
And you come to me if you do not.
Okay. I'm fine. By the way. I'm just
know.
Just giving you an
Just know
opportunity.
I am watching you and to make sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will wait for everybody to. I imagine everybody will come up for me to do camp at some point. So as soon as we're all kind of together, that's when I'll do tiny hut.
Will you camp above or below?
I'm personally, with the power of tiny hut, I'm going to suggest to everybody that we camp above.
Tao doesn't trust this woman. He's not seeking the secret laboratory, or will it cover the illusion? No, he's staying outside.
I'm gonna sneak away back down after she casts the hut.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So everyone will go up for a moment. When you say sneak back down, are you sneaking away from the party or sneaking into Valindra's laboratory?
Away from the party.
Okay. Right.
I'll let Grigori know where I'm headed.
So as the night gets towards the point, well, I say night, it's daytime when you guys set up the hut. Are you guys going to set up watches while you're camping at the hut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who will be taking the first watch?
Tao.
Okay. With Averin, okay?
Once, when I was done with the copying,
Mm-hmm.
I would have asked Valindra about the teleportation circle. Olindra, I have not the means to take advantage of this yet. I haven't learned that level, attained that level of spellcasting. But would you mind if I copied this down to return to you in some time? Perhaps repay you for the kindness you've shown me.
Roll a persuasion check.
Is Grigori helping?
I will use
maybe?
luck again. 18. No modifiers.
Okay. As a show of good faith, yes, you can have the teleportation circle to here, the heart of Uptau. Okay. And she will let you.
You're a
down.
saint, Valindra.
Yeah. It won't take too long to be able to copy it down, and once you do, you will have the sigil teleportation circle for the heart of Uptown. Wherever you are in the world, if you can cast the teleportation circle, you can aim it to come back here.
That's handy.
All right, Valindra, we're going to retire. We've switched our schedule to be asleep during the day, so I'm going to head upstairs, and when we're ready to set out, I'll come fetch you, and we'll fly to Omu together.
Of course. If you're done with describing, and she will go off and grab. Here's your spellbook, as promised.
Thank you, dear.
Here we go.
Don't worry
All's
about
well that ends well, I say. I'm glad to do business with you. So, you guys go off, you start camping out. Those that are taking the first watch, roll a perception check. Okay. So, you guys, throughout your watch, you hear more of... Well, you just hear her moving around, still working during this time. She's been working at night, because you guys arrived at night, well, as dawn was settling in. And she's been working while you've been hanging out, and now she's still working. Nothing else seems to happen at the end of your watch. Anything you guys would be doing during that time?
Questioning Everine about this one has illusion magic everywhere, and that corridor has some sort of conjuration spell on it. What do you make of this?
She seems to be a very powerful spellcaster, and I think these are the normal precautions a powerful spellcaster puts in their own laboratory.
She's playing down this role, though.
Aye. It seems wise to not show your full strength to people you don't know very well.
This is true. Do you think it is wise to have her with us?
Well, she seems to have a greater insight. She's heard from the Thaans regarding the this legend of the 9 gods. But if you don't feel good, I'm sure we can leave without her. I'll just say our goodbyes before we do.
My question is, do we trust her enough to have her in the presence of the ring? It has already caused enough discomfort in this group. We will be adding to it with her presence.
We invited Artis, no questions asked, pretty much. And since Artis joined, we've also picked up Piju. So if we were concerned about the effects of the ring on other people, we probably wouldn't have brought Piju on board.
That one has sticky fingers.
He's just a curious sort, I think. He just likes seeing shiny things.
He is quite young, is he not?
Aye, It's hard to tell. I can't, with the bird folk, I can't really tell.
But you spent time with him. You know him, do you not?
I didn't ask about his age. I really don't know that much about the Aarakocra. I don't know how long they live, or what is an adolescent versus an adult. I don't really know all that.
Okay. Well, I do not understand these wizards as you do, and you seem to understand her practices. You and Zola both seem comfortable with her, and I find her suspicious, but I will follow your judgment.
Very well.
So, at the end of your watch, you guys pass over to someone else who's taking the second watch.
I'll take second.
Okay. Shargo will offer to take it with you.
I knew that.
So as you begin your watch, have you guys still kept Shargo outside?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So being that he's outside, he can't get in.
Yes.
He just stands up and you start watching him do his patrols. And since you guys still have wings for a little bit, he's having fun doing the patrols in the air. You watch as it's fairly clear he's maybe getting a little distracted by the ability to fly. This is kind of fun to him. He's not really paying too much attention. Roll a perception check.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, no.
100 magic uses below us.
My Mac is frozen at that moment. I'll have to on yours, sorry. I need my. Oh, it's back. Roll a perception.
Okay. Yeah, perception check.
Sorry. I'm rolling so bad.
We're all rolling bad.
As you watch him flying, unfortunately, you don't see what attacks him.
No!
A arrow catches into his wing, and he begins to fall. Unfortunately, he was flying out a little bit. What do you do?
Oh god. I'm just gonna go, man overboard! I'm gonna run through the hut so it'll break, and I'm gonna dive and grab him, or try and grab him.
So everyone is all of a sudden woken up by the fact that the camouflage that's been dimming everything, allowing you all to sleep, suddenly disappears. You're all blinded for a moment with the sun still high in the air in your face as she dives over. You will be able to grab hold, but you don't see where the arrow came from. So you grab Shargo, you've saved him, you're fine, you get him back up. He's a little bit wounded, but you don't see where the arrow came from.
Oh dear, okay.
Is the arrow still in him?
It is still in him.
Do I have an idea from the arrow where it is in him? Do I have an idea of the angle at least? Because it would be upwards into the wing if it was below.
Yes.
Would Piju be able to
into the wing.
Okay.
maybe, as just with his skill set, would he be able to get a better pinpoint on where the arrow was shot from, or possibly if it's the make of the arrow is something he'd be familiar with?
So in order to use trajectory to find out where the arrow came from, you would have had to have seen the exact position Shargo was in when he got hit.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, no one saw that. You can investigate the arrow itself.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll investigation checks on the arrow.
There's going to be a laugh.
Yes.
19. Okay.
I got a 19 with my -1.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my god,
funny.
why is...
All right. You get, you look at the arrow. It is definitely a man-made arrow. It is clean. It is neat. The head of which is tipped in some form of liquid.
Oh no.
Does it? Wait, I have the 20 poison arrows that I took from the UNT when we were fighting them. Does this arrow match those arrows? Does it look like it's made from a similar stock?
It does look like it's made from a similar stock.
Oh no.
Is that the sound of another arrow?
Another arrow arcs across the sky, just aiming up. It's wild in the direction that it is, because the angles are ridiculous.
How high up are we?
You're about 500 foot above the ground. So these are just wild shots that are being taken from people.
They shoot at all.
You can't shoot 500 foot with a bow. The most anyone could really shoot is potentially 300.
Yeah.
So the crossbow can go farther than that.
Not much further. Crossbow can be
Not
about
that much.
200 pound.
I think crossbows can go about 600 to 800 as well.
Magical then.
No, standard crossbows.
I know, but I'm just saying we're not in standard world.
Okay, but no. I mean, the crossbows in the game can go that far.
Not real crossbows.
But these are arrows, not bolts.
These are arrows, they're not bolts.
Yeah,
Okay.
Specifically, if it came from a longbow,
the longbow's 300.
Yeah.
the longbow is 300 feet.
So they must be on a platform or flying. They must be higher up than the ground.
No, actually, the longbow is 600.
Oh,
So, longbow is
I know.
600 foot max distance.
So they could be grounded.
So it could be anywhere up to that point.
okay.
What do you guys do seeing all of this? It's just one extra arrow that came up.
Can I cast invisibility? With my
Right
loot?
now, with your current position, you don't necessarily need to be invisible because you're not over the top. Right now, you can't see the ground, they can't see you. That's just given.
I'm thinking of flying out and having a look
Okay. All right.
with invisibility on me.
Go ahead and cast invisibility.
So, okay.
So you play your loot, you begin
Yeah.
to cast invisibility, and you go off. Roll a stealth check
Okay.
with advantage.
Stealth.
Okay. As you step out and start to float down,
I'm not floating down.
You're not floating down. You're just
I'm just
getting a view
Gonna
out. Okay.
just go
fair
up just so I can see from where we are. I don't want to put myself in a awkward spot.
Okay. You watch as a group of individuals are flying towards you.
Right. Okay.
2 men in robes and 3 individuals similar to those that you've dealt with previously, like the ones that killed Artus. 3 snake-headed folk
Right. Okay.
are on their way up to this position.
Okay. I'm going to land. I'm going to be invisible for an hour now, aren't I? So,
That's a cost as well.
Until you drop concentration.
okay, I'm just going to keep it on me for the time being, rather than waste it. So I'm going to go, guys, I'm here. And just try and shuffle my feet or something so they know where I am. And say, we've got company coming. We've got 2 guys in robes, 3 guys with snakeheads. It ain't looking good. So we need to have a plan. Where's Zola? Is Zola with us or she?
She's below.
Okay.
Yep.
Where's
And-
Grigori?
If they cannot penetrate the heart, why don't we simply replace ourselves inside of the heart?
I like your Grigori voice.
She's gone.
We missed a bit of that, but okay.
Okay. Grigori just said that Zola is down below, and perhaps if what everyone has been saying is true and most people can't get into the heart, perhaps we should head into the heart as it's a more defensible position.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Down. Everyone go down.
So everyone goes down. Zola, you've already been down below. What would you have been doing down there while all this is happening?
curled up at Valindra's feet with my wings wrapped around me, using them as bedding, and I look like her weird familiar right now when they enter.
Okay.
Valindra, we've got company. Some of those triangle folks are making their way up. Are we safe inside here?
I believe we should be safe. I think it would be a good idea if we all kind of... I know. All of you get inside that corridor.
Okay.
Really?
I'm rolling
yeah.
an insight check on this.
Insight, yeah.
Insight.
Roll insight check. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That was not Carmen, that was Tower.
So Tower rolled a 27.
How my only good roll, and it was you.
It wasn't you, that was still Tower. Just changed my opinion.
So with a 27 on your insight check, we'll find out what Tower finds out in 15 minutes once we've had a bit of a break. So join us in 15 minutes once we've had a moment to ourselves. In the meantime, there will be on your screens sometime soon a Who's That Monster that you can spot. So type in the chat what kind of monster you think that is, and we'll show you who got it right at the end of the break. Okay, see you in 15. Welcome back after the break. Thanks for sticking with us. So, the answer to the Who's That Monster is, drumroll, a Yuan-Ti Malazon. The Yuan-Ti Malazons can appear in different forms, different degrees of snake-like form. Typically, it's snake head, humanoid body, but it can be any sort of mixture and combination. And the party experienced some Yuan-Ti last week, and it looks like they're about to experience them a little bit now. So, where were we? I think someone did an insight check, something like that. So, Tower, you glean from her expression. Maybe it would not be a good idea to go inside the corridor.
I think that is the last place we should go. Maybe we should hold a stand at this corridor. It's our best place to fight them.
The corridor's perfectly safe. I mean, you can be protected, and then we can hide. I can hide it, and we'll be good.
You said you've already fought them. They know you're here.
Yes.
Then why would we hide? They know we're here. They have seen Shago flying around, I take it.
It looks like it. He looks a little wounded.
How is Shago, Norway?
Yeah.
He looks fine. He was poisoned by the arrows. They hit him and they hurt him.
I don't know.
What happened to you? What'd you do?
I do not know what happened, Zola. One moment I was flying, I was keeping a good lookout, and then suddenly something came out. It's the dinosaur all over again. I tell you, they just appear out of nowhere.
Yes.
I'm glad you're safe.
The entire 100 wizards below us, where we flew at night to conceal our entrance, and you decide you were going to fly in the middle of the day, fully observed.
I was being hidden. But that's enough of that. We don't need to talk
In
about
the
that.
sky.
We need to try and figure out what we are doing right now. Are we going to attack these? Are we defending the position here? Are we hiding? What are we doing?
I have a good shot on anyone who comes through that door.
Is this not all protected from magic where we are?
It's not protected from all magic, and what you've been told by various people that access to here is only limited by Uptown. If you can get up there, then Uptown must be allowing you to do so. So you could assume that these people won't even be able to touch you.
Well, Peter's going to suggest that a few of us hold the choke while everybody else can get into the totally safe, not dangerous, definitely not a trap room. Because Valindra could have killed us if she really wanted to at some point. You know, she knows the capabilities of her lab better than we do.
Don't worry, Valindra. You've shown us such kindness. I'll protect your lab. I'll be sure the defenders, if they walk in, will shoot them up real good.
How high are we?
You're about 500 foot away from, well, I guess closer to about 600 foot off the ground.
We haven't had a rest, have we?
Nope.
Oh, no.
There's a chimney kind of thing that goes straight up out from here, right?
There is, yes.
Okay. That's
You
good to
guys
know.
spent a lot of spells today.
I've not spent any out of my 4 for the day or what have you.
Not spent any.
I spent my third levels.
This is our second day. I've not spent any.
Detect magic.
That's a feature. Class feature.
For both ways.
Ah, okay. All right, fair enough. Okay. So, what are you going to do? Are you positioning yourselves ready, waiting for something to approach inside?
That's what I'm doing. And if someone steps in front of me, I will just fly up, so they are not obstructing my view.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up the chimney and just try to peek out, stealth, like try to not peek out so far that I would be seen if somebody is nearby, but to see what's going on.
Valindra goes into the corridor, into the little pocket. She steps into there. All right, then. Yeah.
I'm going to be prepared to that cage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just thinking how wide that water, where the water is that the same width as the hole, or is that a bit bigger than the hole? I'm just wondering if I could use the cage if I wanted to. If PG came back down and said they're going to come through the top, could I use levitate to basically use the cage as a grill shut?
The cage is too small to be able to completely block it.
All right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then these fellows do start making their way closer and closer towards you. With your position, you don't see the angle that they're approaching in. So let's figure out which way they're coming in.
I like Tower's position so you can see down the line and see up above.
Mm-hmm. But it's a question of whether or not they're coming in from that side or above.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. They approach, and they appear all as a group quite neatly. Probably a bad idea that they appear at the same time. But they do all appear in the southern entrance. I think that music might be a little too loud. At least it is for me. Okay. So, as these guys pop up and are visible, I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Yes.
It's just not my rolling day today.
Yep.
We like I take it we're kind of hidden. Do we need to roll stealth?
I'm hiding behind the tree branch.
If you are actively hiding, I would have I will ask you to roll a stealth check before you start your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right.
Oh, nice.
Right. So is anyone missing from the turn order? Okay. Top of the round, Carmen. With your 13 stealth, you're hiding behind there. What are you doing?
I am going to cast. So, quick question: if I cast silence around the entrance, which they're facing, can they cast a spell through it?
So silence doesn't block any sort of magic going through. Silence just blocks any sound being created or heard from within the radius that is silenced. So for it to affect spellcasting, they have to be inside it.
Okay. Damn.
Or the target of a spell that requires them to be able to hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't even know why I did a whole stealth check. I'm invincible, so I don't even know why I did that.
Okay, you're still invisible. Yeah, advantage.
I know. Okay. I am going to just start with the normal classic shatter then, in that case.
Okay. So, shatter. Go ahead and cast shatter. Okay. So shatter has a range on it that's 60 foot. So you cast it, I'm assuming, somewhere like there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in terms of the radius, you'll be able to get 4 of them. You won't be able to get that extra wizard that's on the edge. They need to roll saves, the UNT con saves. Success. Fail. Fail. And the mage to the right. Success. Okay, so the mage to the right takes 3 points of thunder damage. Oh, I got the measurement tool up. Okay, so he takes 3.
Happen to be concentrating on anything, isn't he?
He needs to roll a con save for the concentration. He's holding on to some fly, and he succeeds on the con save. All right, the rest take. So some of them failed, some of them succeeded. Okay, anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that'd be it.
Okay. Then mages are going to be coming into the room. Stealth checks from everyone that was hiding. So we've got Tower's stealth check, Pijo's stealth check. Anyone else hiding in their position? Zola. Okay.
And Grigori's behind a wall, so I don't know if he needs to roll stealth.
He should still roll a stealth check.
Okay.
But he's behind total cover.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Situation.
There you go.
Okay, all right. So first mage is going to fly in and do what mages do, as all mages do. Can anyone guess what they're going to do?
Sing a song.
If he's going to cast a spell, I will counterspell it.
Okay, then he will counterspell your counterspell of his spell. So you cast it at 3rd level.
Aye.
Okay, so he did as well. Okay, so where is my... There we go. He's casting a fireball.
I just want to make it known I was up in the chimney looking around. I don't know where that actually is on this map, though.
Where the water is.
Okay, so just up however high.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put him...
5, 10...
Oh, God.
Right there. That seems like a good spot for him. Right there.
So he would aim it there, which, because it's a 20-foot radius sphere, he explodes it in such a way that you in the area above, even in the chimney, are going to be affected by it.
Rude.
I know. It's evil mages, man. It's a
Ugh.
nightmare. All right, so we have a dexterity saving throw from everyone inside that area.
Do I get advantage? No.
Oh, Shago.
Freaking fireballs, man.
Oh,
Oh, Averine.
this is
Okay.
my last luck.
Do you
Nice
have
luck of the
points
day.
left for the day?
So that's a total of 15.
All right. Well, I don't need luck. I'm gonna cast that.
Okay. All right. So, Pijo, you succeed. Shargo fails. Carmen succeeds. Averine, you use your luck. Total of 15.
Yep.
You succeed. Tower, you fail. You take half damage anyway. So those that succeeded take 14 points of fire damage,
Baloney.
or took half damage because of the absorb elements. Those that failed take 28 points of fire. So that's the fireball in there. It's going to disappear. The other mage will fly in to the entryway, to the space. He's not going to cast fireball. I'm not going to be that mean. What he is going to do is cast greater invisibility on the mage, that on himself in this position. Right, so he now disappears from view. Come on. Right, Zola.
I am gritting my teeth and running for this guy that I can see.
Yep.
I
You
have-
were hidden at the start of your turn, so you do have advantage on the attack, yes?
I have foreseen this moment, and I will use my portent of 20 on this attack roll to give Zola a critical.
Okay. So let me roll that again.
So that hits. Would you like to use sneak attack?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay, so roll sneak attack twice.
Yep. So 18.
It is a powerful array of attacks. Unfortunately, not quite enough to be able to finish him off in one go.
That's
Anything
fine.
else?
I have another bonus attack with the bookmark here.
Did
Okay.
it break his concentration?
Ooh.
Is this guy concentrating on anything? He's
Oh
a
no, the
fireball.
other. Yeah.
This guy was concentrating on at least one. So, well, he was concentrating on all of them because the other one cast greater invisibility. So let's see how he does for the con save. The total damage of that was 18, 16, 34 points of damage. So half DC 17 con save. Ooh. 18. He manages to succeed.
I was hoping the UNT would just plummet to the ground.
All right,
I'm gonna do-
Zola, you then run in with Bookmark. You jab him in the side. Bookmark almost seeming to perfectly find the spot that it needs to as it takes his life.
Yes! I'm going to
Which,
stand over him
since
and
he
blow
was
for a second.
concentrating on Fly, means the con save was a bit useless anyway. You hear some screams coming from Yuanti as they fall.
That counts as 4 kills for Zola, right? Not just 2, or not just 1.
Well, Averine helped.
That's true.
Okay,
How many fails?
so you'll hear 3 lots screams as the Yuanti plummet 500 foot.
Nice.
Well, that made that a bit quick and easy.
Thank goodness.
All right. Well
Right.
done, Zola. Anything
always
else from you, Zola?
Cast this out the back.
I know. I had forgotten that Portent was still in play. I thought I still had at least one turn. All right. Anything else from you, Zola?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Well, Valindra Shadowmantle is going to step out. Is everything all safe now?
One of them is invisible! I can't see it!
Ah. Okay. What can I do about someone that's invisible? What can I do? I don't know. How about this? I'm going to wait and I'm going to ready a spell. And she's saying this play by play to Pijo. I'm going to prepare to cast a spell in case someone appears.
Just gonna yell down. That's great. Just keep it up. You're doing great. All right.
Thank you. All right. Grigori.
He will poke his head out. I guess he's just gonna shoot some eldritch blasts off blindly, wanting to get this thing out, but not knowing where he is. So.
Okay. Which direction is he going to fire? Towards the exit, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, so make the shots at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, both of those will miss.
He just shrugs at everybody and goes back.
It's his usual thing. I mean, sits at the back. All right, Averine.
I will similarly cast Firebolt.
Okay, same again, disadvantage. Unfortunately, 14 just seems to fly off into the distance.
Show yourself, you coward! And that's it.
Tower.
Tower is going to use his bonus action to hidden. No, I'm not. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's not casting a spell, so I'm not straight on it. So I'm going to use my bonus action to hidden step.
Okay.
And turn invisible for this round. Start the turn until you attack or make a damage roll. So yeah, I stay invisible, and then I'm gonna move position to here, and then I'm going to round to here, and then I'm going to hold my action to cast a spell hold person until I see him.
Can I check the wording of your hidden step?
You can cast attack. Oh no, that's not the one. As a bonus action, you can magically turn invisible until the start of your next turn or until you attack. You make a damage roll or force someone to make a saving throw. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
Okay. It doesn't seem to indicate that the act of casting the spell would trigger it. It's only when you force someone to roll a save or you roll an attack roll. Okay. So you manage to you concentrate on that spell. All right. Then that's it for you, Tower. Shargo. Yes. Ow. That did hurt. I will move. And perhaps if I stand up here, I can... You do... No, that's you preparing it. Okay. All right. Pijo.
Well, I'm going to... Would I be able to use, like, survival or perception to see where this guy is before firing an arrow at him?
It would be your action to try and find him.
And I can't do my second attack if my action is not an attack, can I?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Well, then if your action is a... Yeah, pretty much no, you can't.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to fly down to a level where I can, target this guy. I'm going to cast Hail of Thorns on myself as a bonus action at level 2. There we go. And I am going to let loose one of my normal arrows, not a poison arrow.
Okay, go ahead and fire at disadvantage. Misses.
I'm going to do it again. That also misses. Great. Okay.
Okay. All right. Carmen.
Carmen is going to use Fairy Fire.
Okay.
So I'm going to cover probably from where... It's a 20-foot cube.
Mm-hmm.
So So yeah, I'd go from this line here, and then across that way.
Yeah,
Really?
that's where he was.
Okay. In that case,
Oh, somewhere in there.
well, I was going to go across Shargo.
No, he's in the entranceway. You saw where he disappeared, wasn't it?
To here then, from here up to here. So those 2 tree stumps down. Yeah.
So there.
Yeah. There. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the spell save DC of that?
Oh, that is.
Because he gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
15.
He illuminates.
Ooh.
He becomes visible.
Yeah.
Can I cast
I'm
that?
gonna make him pink.
Cast whole person?
Carmen, he looks so pretty.
Doesn't he look pretty?
Oh my god.
So any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails the dex save. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And okay, so I would say in this case, this counts, even though he's invisible, you can see the outline. It counts as if you can see the target. So you cast Hold Person Tower. Valindra casts her spell. So go ahead. He needs to roll a wisdom save, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So what's the spell save DC on that?
15.
Okay, he saves from your spell, but instantly a moment later, dies.
Oh, crap.
From where Piju is, does he notice Valindra like say something like die the moment this person dies?
Something like that.
Something
you
to that
definitely
effect.
see her go back and
Yeah, Piju's gonna very not subtly just back away from this creepy lady.
what? What did I do?
We're gonna look back. So.
I guess that fella had a bum ticker. He just couldn't handle the excitement.
It was all I did was like a simple force spell, similar kind of like what your friend had tried to do, but he missed. It just hit. It was perfect shot. It was great. I honestly, I must thank you, Carmen. Is it? You did a wonderful job of illuminating him. Absolutely perfect. I think we will make a wonderful team.
Lou,
Thank you.
Lou, I'm gonna try and grab some spell books for Averin.
You don't find spell books, unfortunately.
Is are we all on the same page that those wizards could get in here?
Yes, that is quite a concern. So perhaps we should leave.
We haven't rested.
Just to confirm, do the wizards have the triangle on their heads?
The wizards did have the triangles on their heads.
Ooh.
Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun.
Now,
I'm just gonna point blank ask, hey Valindra, you're not with these guys, right?
No, I no, not at all.
I'm gonna point blank roll an insight check on that response.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I'm not thinking so. I'm not assuming so. Just checking.
Okay. Pijo, you were right next to her as she said, I'm going to prepare to cast the spell as soon as the thing happens, right? So you glimpsed at her as she was preparing to cast the spell. Holding concentration on one thing did kind of, for a moment, affect the concentration she had on something else.
Did the room flicker?
The room didn't flicker, but her visage changed and shifted. Pijo, being close enough, no one else really focused on her, will have noticed that her skin, as I described her arm, that's all over. Then as soon as the spell was cast, back up and gone.
Normal.
Back
Gross.
up to normal.
Well, even
My
more
whole-
reason for me to be backing away from this weirdo.
Don't take her over on my house.
So what was the insight check over again?
I just asked her point blank if she's with these guys.
Absolutely not. No, she's. It seems true. She's
Okay.
not from there. it would appear that this place is no longer safe for us. I would like to study it more. Maybe you all kind of broke whatever enchantment might have been protecting. Who knows? It's not like you might have brought something incredibly powerful and dangerous into the heart of Ukdao. So, should we go?
We haven't had a chance to complete our rest. And we're flying. If we try to flee while flying and suffer exhaustion, we may plummet to our deaths.
That is quite a concern. All right. Rest as quickly as you can. And as soon as you're ready, we will go.
Well, there's no need for you to endanger yourself if you feel that your safety is in question. Perhaps you'd like to get a head start.
Roll a persuasion check.
This is Averine's third persuasion check.
That's so charming. So good at people. Oh no, so charming.
No.
So good at people. How is a 2 not a red one?
I have
plus 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Understood.
roll 20 must be taking a while because I don't see your persuasion. What did you get?
2.
2?
Yes.
Okay.
With advantage, it's a 5. So that might change things.
Yeah. No.
Since we're besties.
Okay. She will turn to Shargo and say, I think it would be a good idea if you were to help Shargo and perhaps protect me while your friends here protect this place.
Mm-hmm.
Shargo is going to have to roll a wisdom save.
No, Shago. Buddy.
To which...
This is a good idea. He will serve great distraction.
Of course.
That's reliability.
Zola, you know Shargo well enough. His response to just willingly go with her, that's weird. That's definitely off.
I was also going to ask if I could see anything.
Perception check. She's very subtle when it comes to her spellcasting.
Tower's going to pick up the 2 wizards and throw them off the side.
We should maybe collect their robes if we wanted to go incognito at some point, right?
Let's go.
Unfortunately, Zola, you don't notice that she cast Dominate Monster.
Okay, well, I'm going to go
He's
clean
not a
up.
monster. He's not a monster, though. Would it still work on Shago?
Monster is the one that specifically states a creature.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
I'm going to cling on to Shago's arm and look at Valindra pleadingly and just be like, this is my brother. We look after each other. We don't go anywhere unless we're together. Please don't take him.
fine, you'll come too.
Go. Well, do we gotta go? Do we gotta go anywhere?
This is not a safe place.
But if we're resting, then, we're still not resting in the safe place.
But your friend just convinced me it's a good idea for me to leave for my own safety, and I would like some help protecting myself.
Well,
frankly, I don't know if you need the help.
Yeah, you're amazing. You are so strong. You sorted that guy out straight away. Honestly, I'm not being rude, and Shargo, don't take it personally. He's a bit of a liability. He's always triggering alarms, getting caught, getting shot.
I'm going to put my hands over Shargo's ears.
Honestly, you'd be better going by yourself because, actually, you could take him, save us having to deal with him, but we can at least stop him from his own, himself.
Roll a persuasion check
Okay.
with
Yeah.
advantage
Okay.
because you're all working together.
Don't take our Shadow!
The tower look over the edge to see if there's anything else coming up.
Nothing else coming up yet.
Okay.
All right, Carmen.
There's a big splat in the ground.
All right.
I had a snake-shaped.
Fine. I guess I can make do without this fellow, but I will see you in the future.
Hope
Yes.
so.
Absolutely.
And she's gone.
The
Shall
minute
we-
she
okay.
leaves, Peugeot starts to look through the books again because they were off limits for so long.
Before Piju did that, can I just go to where she was and see if she's still there and just invisible?
Roll a perception check.
Just run at the same spot.
You don't see her.
Do I run into her, though? I'm doing one of these.
Don't run into her.
Okay.
Not hear her or smell her or.
Nope.
Be careful, everyone. I know the temptation is super powerful to now just poke through everything that the wizard is gone, or the arcanist is gone. But any arcanist worth their weight is gonna have traps around all their things. So just be very careful, please.
Do you want me to check? I can look around.
I'm tired. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Same.
So do you guys? Yeah.
Tower's going to use shape water to create cubes out of the lake in the middle, and then move them to the entrance, and then freeze them with the same spell.
You're going to build an
And
ice
then I'm
wall.
going to build an ice wall.
All right.
I'm going to just hold on to I'll just put my hand on my chest where the ring is and be a little bit like, I so could have done that quicker.
This is slower than what
Could have done
I
that
really
quicker.
can do it.
Fair enough. You do feel a bit of a pull, Carmen, to perhaps be able to do it easier and quicker, but you hold off from that.
Okay.
So, looking around the room, you guys briefly see, okay, you are alone. The place seems to be fairly untouched, even though a fireball spell went off. Nothing seems to look burnt or damaged, courtesy of illusion magic.
Yeah.
When you go back to rest, are you resting in here or upstairs? In down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Down here.
So, are you setting up the hut again?
I can't.
Fair enough. Then, as you guys are in this situation, Shargo and Tower, not separated from the group on this instance, during the night, I am going to need both Shargo and Tower to roll wisdom saving throws.
Come on.
You can do it, buddy.
Yes.
Likewise.
Okay. All right, fair enough. When Shargo wakes up, something very small has changed about him. He is no longer chaotic good. He is neutral.
Oh dear.
That's not the
So,
worst, right? At
no,
least
he's not
gonna
that bad. He's not evil yet.
Okay.
Wakes up, he struggles to sleep. Wakes up in the morning with that extra level, or at night, I guess, because you're sleeping during the day. During the rest of your sleep, though, nothing else happens. You guys get the benefits of a full, long rest, so make sure that you are back up to normal. Your spell slots are all the way back up as they need to be. The dominate monster thing wore off hours ago on Shargo. So you guys are fine. You wake up. What do you do?
I am going to change my spells and get Dispel Magic and dispel this shit.
Okay.
Or attempt
Roll
to dispel
a
this.
spell casting ability check.
I can't. What are I? So what?
You're doing Conjure Animals.
What? I
So,
don't know how this works.
all right. So your spell casting ability is Wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a straight Wisdom check. It's just a D20 plus your Wisdom modifier.
Cast enhance ability on that because I feel like these are probably very high DC. Given
Do you cast enhance ability? Can you cast it as a ranger?
I'm a ranger.
Oh, not me. I'm saying that might be helpful just because I feel like the DCs might be pretty high on these.
All right. I'll announce. This is obviously an illusion. I wish to attempt to dispel and see what the truth of this lady is before we leave. Does anybody object to this?
Carry on.
I might know her secret, but I don't know. It might not be all of it. But the thing is that I get it. I don't know. Do you guys want to know, or do you
Yes.
not? Okay. All right. Well, she's undead. Definitely undead. But I haven't like gotten any malicious senses from her, so I'm thinking she's part of our faction. You know? Or maybe she's on her own. But she appears to have been judged pretty harshly in the past for being undead, and I don't know if they're necessarily evil. Or maybe they started off evil and they can change.
Have you ever met a good lich?
I have only met one lich. Well,
And he tried to kill you.
They're not all bad.
He didn't try to kill you, actually.
yeah.
That's true.
And she was really sweet. She gave me hugs. Like, would a lich hug? Would a lich hug? A bad one.
There's probably some spells they could.
Zola hugs anything.
It depends how brittle she is.
She's pretty darn skinny.
Oh,
I still like her. I still think that we can get some use out of her. I don't think we need to make her an enemy.
She doesn't have to be an enemy if we figure out what her secret is in here, though.
Okay, well there you go. Now you won't be surprised if you see like human baby fetuses in pickle jars and stuff.
Okay.
Well, that's a good one.
So,
I'm going to cast it.
Wisdom checks, please.
So as Zola says that about the human baby fetus, I feel like Piju was just looking at something like a vial or jar-shaped thing on her desk at that moment and just drops it. Something magical, I don't know.
You want to do with that?
Oh, that's not a good roll.
Unfortunately, you find yourself incapable of actually dispelling the magic on here.
No.
This is very powerful. I cannot do this today.
So, what do you want to do? It is nighttime. You have about 8 hours or so left of your ability to fly. What are you going to do?
What time is it at night time?
Tower has just woken up, and what every gentleman does when he wakes up is he needs to go for the morning sprinkle. He's gonna go off the edge.
Of course, why wouldn't we?
All right.
Characters don't go to the toilet in D&D.
They all do. Make it, just be
Stop.
lucky it's not
Stop.
number twos.
Please
I'm
stop.
gonna roll a dexterity attack roll at disadvantage.
Please stop.
All right. So
What
during
time?
this, it is dusk. You guys wake up as the sun is going down.
Okay, can I do a message?
Yeah,
No,
you
I've got a
can.
message.
Sending.
Send a
Yep,
message.
sending. Yep.
So before I do this, I'm going to just look at Grigori and just give him a wink and roll my eyes and then go and just go stand in the corner.
Which corner?
Probably over by the desk. I'll go sit at her desk.
Do you perhaps go into the corner off to the side where she said you don't go into
No, I'm not
for
going
a
in
little
there.
bit of privacy? Okay.
No, I'm not going in there. Oh, no. I mean, I might, she might be blonde, but she's not. No. So, and she's going to message Liara Porter.
Okay.
And just say to her, I'm guessing she'll know it's me when I start the message.
She will know who it is, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay. So I'm just going to message her and just say, making progress, wanted to see how you were. The group recognise time is short. Please update if you can.
I am fine. I don't have too much longer. Please hurry. Wish Shago my best.
I'll go back to the group.
Okay.
And say, okay, I've spoken to Liara Porter, everyone,
You did?
Gregory.
How is she?
She's okay. She's all right. She messaged back, so that's good. She does send her best to you, Shago. So please take comfort in that. But she is saying time is short. So, but the good thing is that she is still with us, which means she's okay, but then equally it means that there may still be an interest in the ring. So just to keep you all updated.
I take it that means your father is fine.
I don't know, why is Zola talking so funny?
Zola's impression of Grigori is much better than Carmen.
It's better
I
than
like the-
Grigori's
I like-
impression of Grigori.
I like Casey's version of Grigori better than Matt's.
I will
Yeah.
tell her you said that. It's fine.
You guys just swap. You did such a better job.
Character last time. That's cool.
So yes, I spoke to him before we got in that fight, and I didn't want to bring it up, but he's okay. They're on another mission though, and they're underground, which isn't good, but they're okay. And I don't know how it didn't get through last time. It's amazing. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy he's all right.
You look happy.
I'm really happy, and I'm so thankful you lot put up with me being so upset and going through such a bad time the other day. But he's my world. He's my complete world, and he's okay at the moment. So we've still got time. So yes, all good.
How nice. And he walks away.
Love you too.
Ugh.
Can we get a map?
Of what?
Chill.
Chult. Okay. Yes, you can.
No one's curious about the mushroom room.
About the what?
Mushroom room.
It looks like a mushroom.
If any of you want to go inside, you're more than welcome to.
It just seems like a bad idea.
I just don't think you should a chance.
Lucky Hidan, I hope you have an excuse for being late. It's good to see you. Glad to have you in today. All right, so let me pull everyone over to where the party currently is, floating within the heart of Uptal.
So I know that it's night, so we don't have a whole lot of vision. But during the day, did we reveal any more hexes?
Yes, you did. You've got more of a view of the world around you.
Hooray.
The Porton. Oh,
Look
nice.
at Porton.
So nice there. What's chill there?
Oh, look.
There you go. You got more of the view of the area around you.
Since I know the map that we're looking at has the colors marked for the danger of the region, would we be able to get a gauge on that just from looking, or is that something that we wouldn't know?
It's something Shargo would inform you
Okay.
of. It would be clear to be able to see just by the way the land seems to be affected. High concentrations of undead seem to sicken the land a little bit.
Okay.
And you would notice it in the tops of the trees as well.
I was also actually curious, since she was talking about a lot about Omu, and we were talking about how to get there, given the Arakakra at Kirsabal's relationship with Omu and the gargoyles of Omu and their kind of contentious relationship, would Pijo have any insight into ways to get to Omu a little more safely than what like somebody who doesn't have this kind of experience?
So let's see a history check. I would say that your character hasn't personally ever been to Omu, but you might have heard stories. So roll a history check.
Well, I'm going to wager probably not with the -1. So
14. All right.
Okay.
This much you do know. You don't know the layout of the land much, but you do know that Omu is actually sunken into the forest a little bit. It is in a divot, a huge divot. There are gargoyles that line the entire divot. Now, if you were to approach by any means except the front gate or the waterfall, the gargoyles will attack you.
Okay. I gotta write that down.
You don't know the layout of Omu, so you don't know how significant that is. But those are the only ways to get in without drawing the attention of the gargoyles.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Shago.
Shago is like, yes.
Where I'm looking right there, is that a river?
That is a river. I believe it feeds into the Aldani Basin itself. Perhaps let's look a little bit harder. Unfortunately, it kind of ends at the tip there and then flows back into the basin itself.
I see. So that doesn't get us any closer to Omu.
No, it doesn't. Shago does say, well, what are we waiting for? We know that the Soulmonger machine, the thing that is killing everyone, is in Omu now. Let us go.
Probably.
I'm with this guy.
Your shipwreck that we saw from Kesabal, it seems like we could maybe detour that way before we head to the city.
Ashara seems to think that it's not, there isn't enough left of it to do anything about. She said that perhaps if we were to combine the remains of both shipwrecks, the one out to the east and this one, then perhaps it would be enough. But we don't have the means to do that.
We do, even so, if we do not wish to salvage these ships, there may be other things on board that may be worthwhile investigating.
I'm of two minds. Obviously, we want to head towards Omu. And there looks like at the end of that river, a relatively safe spot for us to land. But this, the other river, the one that goes by Kirsabal and Nangalore, that one, I wonder if we should head in that direction and see if we can catch the river toward if it would lead to Omu.
That will take us back the way that we came. That will waste another 4 days.
No, we would head south, but in a southeasterly direction to see if we could catch the river.
Mechanically speaking.
Yes.
These areas here look like they're slightly out of any danger zone, so we could do some hopping.
How do you mean they're slightly out?
Well, they look like they're not in the dead zone.
Yeah, there could be dead zones in all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could hopscotch across those. Maybe there might be a small gap in between there.
Well, that looks like a proper danger zone, and that was like a little danger zone. I think we're going to have to go through it at some point.
Yes, lucky then. Yes. Thank you.
If Peugeot were to, at any point, like, go out to do some aerial scouting, how far could he scout in a day when it comes to, like, on the map to get a better view of everything?
The most you could go is 4 hours travel out and then 4 hours travel back.
So not really any more than we would get just by. So I would just get a aerial view of the land instead of.
If you wanted to just do basic scouting for view, you'd only be able to gain an additional 3 mile notice.
Yeah. Okay.
Not going to be much.
Yeah.
So, which way are we going? We can get about 30 mile if we really fly quickly.
I say let's go to Omu. Let's get this soulmonger done.
Well, yeah, Omu is the destination, but what I'm seeing that we could land in a relatively safe spot, or we could veer towards the east and see if the river can take us any closer to Omu as a means of transportation.
Would Peugeot have any knowledge about that river specifically?
You would know that it brings you to... It takes you out of the forest, and the forest in the jungles is where the undead seem to keep themselves.
Okay.
So that river would necessarily be a safer route.
Okay.
But we don't know if it takes us to Omu. That's the...
Yeah, you don't know if it takes you all the way to Omu.
And it could put us way out of the way. I mean, I don't know.
All right. Well, the safer and more secure, I think, would be to land there. As not only is it out of the undead zone, it is directly in our path to Omu. I don't think it's necessary for us to roll the dice and risk danger to the river.
Okay.
Is everyone agreed we should head to the end of this location here?
Yeah.
Okay, let us go. And Shargo tears off. He seems a little bit more invigorated and excited. The news of hearing Liara Porte is doing okay still, and the fact that you are moving closer towards the end goal seems to have kicked him up a notch. And he seems to be eager to keep moving forward. You guys will fly 30 miles at the end of 8 hours and land just at the edge of the river here, at the edge of this zone. Yeah?
Could Tara have a look out for any herds of dinosaurs?
In the air, in the sky, or in the water?
Like land-based herd. We're not in the forest. It looks like we're in a flat landscape. Will there be any herds of sort of brontosauruses or stegosauruses or anything veggie?
Roll either perception or survival. Okay. You will spot the tracks and the signs of dinosaurs' footprints. Whether or not they are specifically herbivores or carnivores, you can't exactly be sure, but there are definitely herds of dinosaurs not far from here.
Okay. I don't want to go out hunting. I just want to, like, if we see anything, I may have
Okay. So, now that you are on the ground, you've traveled your 3 days worth of flying. As you're finally making it to the point, your arms and your wings start to get extra tired. The strength seems to leave them. You land, and within minutes of landing, you feel the feathers begin to drop off one by one. They each begin to shift. Your beautiful wings begin to turn a darkly, sickly hue as it's just skin, and then it cuts down to bone, and then the bone just dissolves right there and then and falls off, leaving scar tissue on each of you where the wings had been, as a reminder forever of what had been given to you, but also as a memory. It's information informing you that Ashara has her wings back, as you've used up the power. Now that your land-based things will seem to be a little bit slower and drudging through the ground, you've obviously got to sleep, got to rest, you've traveled as much as you can, but it's only now waking up to dawn. And you rest, you set up a bit of a camp like you have been, and when you next reach nighttime, so dusk, you guys will have gained the benefits of a long rest again. You'll be good, you'll be fine. And at the start of dusk, you then now have the decision, are you guys going to try and shift your travel pattern back to walking through the day? As it stands right now, typical walking pattern actually takes the full 16 hours of a day. You just do some at night. You take breaks periodically through. Is that the kind of style that you take, or do you shift yourself to only walking during the day?
I'd say daytime.
There are many predators in the night that we cannot see. It would not be wise to travel in such dangerous terrain with impaired vision.
The night is full of terrors.
Aye.
But is it dark though?
Seems
So-
dark, yes. It seems dark, yes. Let's get back to the day.
All right. As you begin making your way, you start shifting. You do the same thing as you did before. It'll be a con save. Even if you fail, you'll rest immediately afterwards and get rid of it. So you're fine and you don't need to worry about that. But another day will pass. And before I forget, I had promised the party to create a public handout with days that have passed. So...
The feathers, when they left, were they physically on the ground? Can we pick them up, or are they just gone?
yes, you can pick them up.
I'll
So
keep
you
one
can
of them.
take. Okay. Cool. Another day passes, and you guys begin now making your way out of the way. Shargo will continue guiding as he usually does. Will anyone help him?
I will.
Okay, so he has advantage 20. Okay, he gets you closer to Omo. As you begin to progress through, your perceptions begin to notice that things, even with your passive perception, you hear just off to the distance a heavy
Should be fine.
huge footprints.
Do I have a glass of water that's getting ripples in it as well?
Your water skin seems to be vibrating.
Okay.
You do the little water thing and all that.
Someone's very angry.
A big dinosaur is in the area. What do you guys do?
If you stand totally still, it can't see you.
Should we sneak until we can't hear that or feel that anymore?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Tower will cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. So stealth checks from everyone.
Oh, wow. But
Oh yeah,
PG can fly.
my portent was wasted. I need a new one.
I'll take that 11.
Instead of your 11.
Yeah. Well, so if we have passed that trace, what does that do?
Plus 10.
18
Plus 10. Oh, so it's a 21 instead of an 11 at least.
So you guys watch as a creature passes by you without seeing you. This creature stands out to you. It looks like a T-Rex,
Oh no.
but it's a little bit different.
It's so fun.
It's a happy T-Rex. It's a celestial T-Rex, right?
This large T-Rex seems to set itself apart from the rest as it's walking and striding more than anything else through the jungle up here. You guys do manage to hide yourselves well enough that you don't draw its attention. But you also see that Shargo looks terrified. That one is the poop.
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Shago's HP supposed to be so low? I'm not sure if I...
Well, yeah.
This is from the last battle.
Okay.
Not
Just making sure. So if this goes where it might go.
Can I say Shargo? No. Do you want to see a little trick?
What?
I pull out my Fluke and Bandora. And I can't levitate on it.
You cast levitate on what?
On the
No. No. Why?
I don't think you can even lift something that heavy.
You can't. Is there a weight limit to
No.
levitate? No, there isn't. All right, but does it get to make a save at all?
No, I don't think it does.
Wisdom.
Does it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Okay.
This is a bad idea.
That is a wise dinosaur.
No.
No, it's not. It's got -4.
Porn.
Port.
You can't retroactively choose to use portent, and if you look at the roll, you'll see it
Where is it
rolled
the
an
roll?
18.
Oh.
As you make a noise and try to cast a spell on the dinosaur, it turns and spots you. I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Oh.
You
told me to do it.
No, I said you could do it.
Can we reposition ourselves?
Go ahead, reposition yourselves, yeah.
We have
Just
this-
if you want to gain the benefits of the pass without trace, you have to stay within 30 feet of tower.
I don't think it matters at this point.
Strictly speaking, Carmen is the only one that was noticed.
Okay. Oh, this is the same. This is where we fought all those UNT.
Yep, same. Almost like I don't want to create a custom map counter.
Should we assume that the walls function the same way as they did in that fight as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh. Hang on. I was trying.
Well, last time we fought someone on this map, someone died. So I'm just.
Oh, hang on.
Where did power go?
She did just do that. Yeah. Good luck to everyone. All right. So, anyone, Carmen, you rolled an 8 with your initiative.
Yeah.
Why'd you roll it twice? Oh.
No, I didn't roll it.
Yeah, I rolled twice.
Oh. I thought I got a 25 then. It didn't come up on mine.
All right. Anyone missing from the turn order? I don't think they are. I've got Shargo. Okay. Top of the round. The dinosaur spots Carmen. Pichow. What you gonna do?
Well, firstly, would I be able? Because you said there was something that this dinosaur strode differently. Is this a regular T-Rex or is this T-Rex undead? Is it like a zombie T-Rex? Can we tell just from looking at it?
From just looking at it, no.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
tell it's not undead, at least.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cast. Let's see. I'm going to try my best to stealthily cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Okay.
which just has verbal components. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll roll my stealth check as well.
Okay.
So. And so this will be at a +10.
Okay. So you cast the spell, then you stealth. Anything else from you, Pijo?
No. Well, it's just so I'm stealthing so that I can preserve being hidden while casting the spell. I don't know. Yeah.
So you were stealthing and then casting the spell. Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, then if it doesn't matter, then yeah, that's fine.
Okay, sounds good. Then we move to Averine. What are you doing, Averine?
I'm staying hidden.
Okay. Since you're away from tower, re-roll a stealth check. $21. Okay. Zola.
Everybody's hidden except Carmen.
Everybody is hidden except for Carmen. For now, anyways. Everyone's kind of huddled behind the wall.
And everybody else has to use a bonus action to hide? Or it's
Everyone
an
else
action?
has to use an action to hide.
Okay.
You can use a bonus action as a rogue.
Yeah. Well, I had the idea to Skyrim this mofo, climb up its back and try to cover its eyes. But I think that might kill me, because he could just do one of those. So I am going to run and hide, and I am going to heavily suggest to Shago that he do the same.
He's running. He's terrified of this thing. It killed the last group that he was guiding through. I hope it doesn't kill the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to run the full 60 and then cunning action hide.
And then cunning action hide. Okay, roll a stealth check. Okay. The King of Feathers looks at Carmen. How far away is Carmen from him? Oh, 30 foot. Okay. As he looks, he disappears from view. Misty steps as a bonus action. And is going to bite Carmen. That is a 20 to hit.
Luck.
You use luck. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Okay.
Well, like you rolled the last roll.
Hang on. Oh no. I know, but I feel like I should roll this like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
D20.
Yep, d20. Okay. Without knowing this creature's modifiers, do you want to use your 9 plus the modifiers or the 20 that was total?
Definitely the 9.
Okay. Does a 19 hit you?
Oh shit. Yes.
Okay, you take 26 points of piercing damage. And you are grappled and restrained.
Oh. Was it 26?
So grappled by a T-Rex, does that mean
26.
she's inside its
How do
mouth?
they grapple? They've got tiny arms. Like, seriously, they can't even make a bed.
In the mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're kind of stuck. And while he has you grappled, he can't bite another target. In this position, though, because he's gotten behind the wall, he is going to be able to see Shago. He whips the tail around with a 15. That is going to miss Shago. All right, Carmen.
Which one?
You are grappled and restrained inside the dinosaur's mouth.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Panicking a little bit.
Mhm.
What
Wait,
if
that one
you?
or that one?
Maybe that one. I don't know.
If I die, it's your fault.
If you what happens if you cast the hut inside his mouth?
Takes 10 minutes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
does it? It doesn't, does it? Hang on.
To cast Leoman's tiny
1
hut.
minute.
Yes,
1 minute to cast.
There's not enough turns for it to be a minute. He could swallow me in that time.
Cast it inside his belly.
Try that one.
Oh, I could use the ring. Okay, I'm gonna hold the ring, knowing it could save me, but I'm gonna just try one last chance for myself. If
What are
that's
you
it.
going to do?
I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter.
On. Okay.
Because he'd have to open his mouth to laugh.
Go ahead and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay. Maybe, why not?
If you're going to cast it, you're going to cast it.
I don't. That line right there.
Oh.
Try the other one.
No, I'm gonna use the ring.
You're going to succumb to the power of the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in a dinosaur's mouth.
Right. Sounds good. So, in this moment, you let the ring completely wash over you and take full control.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Oh, you're gonna let it take full control. You're just gonna use it.
It asked for full control to save her. And she said yes. Okay, so the entire area suddenly goes freezing cold.
Freezing.
Everything drops. The temperature drops by about 30 degrees. Just suddenly. From a hot, stifling area to cold breeze. The ground immediately around the feet of the dinosaur where Carmen is kept turns brittle and ice white. The dinosaur itself shocked as its mouth seems to be hardening as it is casting a spell in this situation. Yep, in 1 second. The dinosaur needs to roll a save. It is a Constitution save. Ooh, a 20. That's going to be able to beat the things. Okay, so it fails to turn the dinosaur straight to ice. So as a last resort, it's going to stay, but it still has full control over Carmen's person. Grigori, what do you do?
First of all, I'd like to say this reminds me very much of that scene in Dragonheart, you know, when the guy's sitting in the mouth. He's got the sword up. So I'm thinking, Grigori, he's not having any of this. This is a bad situation. He's going to cast haste on himself, and he's also going to twin it so that he also catches Shago.
Okay.
Because he needs his guide.
Shago is now hasted.
And hopefully that'll be enough. And he's gonna run away.
Okay, fair enough. Tower.
I'm dropping the thingy spell, and I'll cast. I'll cast Conjure Animals.
What are you conjuring?
I have no fucking idea. Lots of prey. The raptor type things. What are those?
Velociraptors.
The velociraptors. The dying. Yeah, it's going to be like Jurassic Park. We're going to be jumping all over.
Velociraptors are 1/4 CR.
No, not those ones. The other ones, the level ones, the ones I can turn into.
Zombies?
The Deinonychus.
Deinonychus.
Yeah, well,
Okay. So Deinonychus are CR1, so you get 2 of those.
bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they get an initiative of 4. They go after Shago. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, I will turn into a bear as a bonus action. So,
Okay, Shago's turn. Shago is going to stay where he is.
I can't control the Deinonychus.
I've got them. Let me.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'll put them around on the other side of Carmen on the.
Okay.
Well, I'm in the mouth. I'm not actually there.
Yeah. But like they're gonna jump on that thing.
There you go.
There you go. You've got full control over them. So Shago, seeing that he is hasted right now, is actually going to stand his ground for a moment. He wants to get Carmen out of the mouth, and he's bolstered by his new people. He is going to try and just hit this thing over and over again. He's dropping his shield. He's doing 2-handed attacks, and he gets 4 of them because he is hasted. So let's see how this works. 18 hits, 23 hits, natural 1 misses, 26 hits. So 9, 15, and an extra 14 from the creature. He's then going to dance around it over there. Deinonychus, what would they do? Where would they have been positioned?
Right underneath. Those 2 spots underneath. And they're going to jump on it.
Okay. So do you want them to make attacks?
Yep.
Okay.
So 3 attacks, 1 with a bite and 2 with a claw each. So first one.
Okay. 12 is going to miss.
Are they flanking in any kind of way?
Unfortunately, not in this current positioning.
Right. All right. Move him around the other side and jump him up.
Okay.
Right. So attack with sector.
That will hit for 7 points of damage. Then another attack for another 10 points of slashing, clawing away at this creature. Anything else from the Deinonychus?
Second Deinonychus will do his 3 attacks.
How many attacks?
I get 3 attacks each. Multi-attack.
For a CL1 creature. Okay, fair enough. So bite hits for 9, claws, slash away, that hits, and another one.
Does it do it?
I need 1 more. Looks like it's a crit. It was a crit, so 15 points of slashing. All right. Anything else from the Deinonychus?
Yeah, they're just going to be all over it.
Okay. Top of the round, before Pijo gets to act, Carmen,
Yeah.
your entire body turns to ice, completely just, and then you disappear in a puff of smoke and are teleported away. Pijo.
All right. Not realizing that Carmen is all the way over there now. Matt just texted me also and asked if anybody died yet, so I got to figure out what kind of lie to tell him. But I'm going to bolt up 50 feet in the air so I'm out of its reach. And I'm going to let fly some arrows at it. I'm going to let fly a poison arrow at it. actually. Now,
Right.
yeah. So is that going to be a crit for all of the damage or just the arrow damage?
Just the initial arrow damage.
Okay, so I'll also roll my Hunter's Mark, Colossus Slayer, and Poison.
The Hunter's Mark, Colossus Slayer, and Poison. Not the poison, but all of the other attacks are
Also doubled.
increased. Yep.
Okay, so I'll roll those twice and poison once.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else from you, Pijo?
I'm going to do another poison arrow attack.
Okay. 20 will hit for
Cool.
8 points of piercing damage.
And then I still get the Hunter's Mark and the poison, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else from you, Pijo?
That'll be it.
All right. Averine.
Averine will cast a firebolt at this guy.
16 hits for 9 points of fire damage.
And she will move 30 feet.
Okay. Zola.
Trying to consider action economy. Let's see, if I hold my action, that includes my potential cunning action, right?
No, you can take a bonus action and then hold your action.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do, and I would like to hide better.
Okay. So roll a stealth check as a bonus action.
There you go. And
21.
Condition is if the dino dissipates, appears within reach, then I will attack it.
Okay. Melee attack? Yep. Okay, fair enough. So, the King of Feathers sees this bird that just hit it hard. That is 50 foot above it.
50 foot is, yeah. What? Oh my god. Well, I'm 50 foot above it and I'm 15 feet away from it.
Okay. So it's going to move 10 foot forward and then do a high jump. That will provoke an attack of opportunity from Shargo and the Deinonychus.
How is in bear form? So, how man? And is it 2 attacks or was it multi-attack? Or just attack?
Just one attack. Okay. So 18 is going to hit.
Yes.
No, not
Okay,
you.
thank God.
It'll take 12 points of piercing damage. The Deinonychus both get to make an attack of opportunity as well.
Oh.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh.
21 hits for 6. And an 11 is going to miss. With its 25 for its strength, giving it a +7, it moved 10 foot. It can jump up to 3. A number of feet equals 3 plus your strength modifier, which is 10. So it jumps up 10 foot. Bonus action, Misty Step. Up 30 foot. And puts it at 40 foot. And its bite has a reach of 10 foot. So it's going to bite.
Well, let's hope
bite
it
you
misses.
top. That's a 24 to hit you, Pijo.
Well, of course that hits me.
Okay.
Goodness. Well, I mean, yeah. So I take 26 damage.
So
Okay.
you take 26 points of damage. You are grappled and restrained in its mouth. It then lands on the floor and will use a tail attack against one of the Deinonychus. That's a 16 to hit the Deinonychus that's next to him.
I think that hits the Deinonychus.
It's for 19 points of bludgeoning damage on it.
Oh, they cut my health exactly in half.
Okay. Carmen, you are given control back of your body
Okay.
now that you are safe.
Okay. How is he looking? I know obviously he looks what he does, but
Mechanically
speaking,
on a figure of one.
Has he dropped down to one paw?
If you were to put how well it's looking in a scale, in like a range of numbers,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
will, that would kind of quantify it. Where would it be out of, and what would its maximum number be?
This is a legendary dinosaur. It's not actually a dinosaur, it's a monstrosity.
I'll say.
It's fine. It is wounded. I would say bordering on heavily wounded,
Okay.
Carmen.
which means it's somewhere between 25% health and 50% health.
Okay. Oh.
Give it.
What's that one?
Yeah. Oh, just got all these options.
I've got all these extra spells now. It's really
I don't know what they will
dangerous.
do.
Oh my lord.
Which spells?
On the ring.
Okay.
I know what that one's like. Yeah.
What about Ice Storm? Ice Storm.
I don't know what that does.
Perhaps.
Do you want to come back to me?
Perhaps the ring wants to decide.
Maybe the ring wants to decide.
Are you okay? If you're letting the ring continue, the ring will actually use a wall of ice.
Oh, okay.
It will create a wall of ice along the edge of that stone wall that's next to the dinosaur. Wall of ice is a very useful spell, very powerful. You create a wall of ice in the area. A creature that was in it, it cuts through a creature space when it appears. That creature is pushed to one side, must make a dex save. On a failed save, the creature takes 10d6 cold damage. So the King of Feathers now needs to roll a dex save. Roll a 9, which means he fails. Would you like to roll 10d6?
Yes.
Okay, Roll20 just now told me my connection to the server has been interrupted. What is the result?
29.
There we go, 29. Okay. As the wall of ice appears, it breaks along the side of this, pushes against the dinosaur, knocking it back with Pijo still in its mouth. As it does so, the King of Feathers falls and doesn't get back up. King of Feathers is down.
Yay!
Excuse me, hello? Excuse me, hi, yes?
I'm gonna run and just try and like start to wedge his mouth open to get him out. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, I'm sorry, I thought it was gonna be funny, I'm sorry.
Carmen.
Yeah.
You gave over full control.
I did.
It's now visibly obvious to the entire party that you have been completely corrupted by the ring.
Have I been completely corrupt though?
That sounds like something someone who's been completely corrupted would say.
I used it in a moment of need to save everyone.
And that's exactly what the ring wanted in all reality. As a result, it has the freedom to, because you gave it control, it has the freedom to take you whenever it wants. And it...
Really?
You look... you seem to give off this frozen sort of aura, as everyone can see the hot air around you just sizzling off of your now perpetually colder body. You don't know how to control the ring. and it has gained quite a bit of power over you. As such, it is going to cast a spell. It is going to cast Sleet Storm on the area. I had all these spells set up for when I had Artus, hoping maybe Artus would fall prey. But no. You did. So, the area immediately erupts in a storm of energy, similar to how Tower had summoned one previously. It's a 20-foot tall cylinder, 40-foot wide radius.
Do I not get a chance to do a deck save on it? Because I've only had 2 levels of corruption. I didn't have the full whack.
No, you accepted his power, so in this situation you now have a 3rd level.
Okay.
In this moment, a huge storm is beginning to brew. All of your party are currently being buffeted by it. Everyone around you is being affected. You have a moment where you can see a visual representation of Artus in front of you. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Nice. Luck.
Roll a d20.
Do we have portents? Are there any?
They're not good.
Oh.
Worse than 2?
You've just got to beat a 15.
That sounds so easy in real world, but...
What's the result?
Yeah! That's better than a 15.
Artus stands before you. You are not strong enough, girl. You'll never be strong enough unless you separate yourself from these people.
Can I see anything happening?
Everything is going insane. What are you guys doing when the storm begins to just erupt out of her?
I would like to cast Hold Person on her.
Okay, go ahead and cast Hold
Can
Person.
I respond?
You're currently locked in a mental combat with the ring itself.
Okay.
So where is the storm? The storm is just everywhere.
It's from her. It's 40 foot away from her. So if you're currently within 40 foot of her position...
Okay.
We're heavily obscured. You can't cast Hold Person.
Yeah, choose a humanoid you can see within range.
So
You can.
Well, heavily
that's what
obscured
I'm
doesn't
asking.
mean can't see.
Can I
That
see
means
her?
heavily obscured.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the sleet storm, it's heavily obscured.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to see.
Where is the Sleet Storm?
Let me draw it on the... So it's a 40-foot radius around Carmen. Everything else is just dark around there. Zola and Grigori are inside of it. What are you guys doing?
I'm climbing out of the T-Rex's
You're
mouth.
blinded.
Can I dispel the Sleet Storm?
You can try. Actually, Dispel Magic is a 3rd level spell, right?
Yep.
Okay. I will need you to roll a spellcasting ability check, just because you're combating the ring in this moment. You are able to dispel the ring. You can see her in this moment. She's frozen in a position in an argument. So it is dispelled. Now that you can see her, do you cast the Hold Person?
If I may.
Yes, you may. So you cast Hold Person, a wisdom saving throw from...
I will use my portent. So a
okay.
9.
So that means she fails,
Yes.
right? Do you have any bonuses to your wisdom save? You don't, do you? Carmen?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. So the
When
you hold her. She is paralyzed now.
So I know I'm doing lots of things. I'm just saying what I want to do, and I don't want to step on anyone else's toes. But when I have the opportunity, I'm going to walk up to her and cast Remove Curse on the ring. That's my plan. I don't know where that falls in line with everyone else.
Okay. What would everyone else be doing?
Tao would try and fight his way through the sleet storm before he got disabled and get to
Okay.
calm her down. But he would not be attacking her, so he would just be around that area. He'd probably be making sure nobody else attacked her.
Yeah, go ahead, Zola. Sorry.
As soon as this whole person, like, I'll have been approaching with blades out with intent to harm in my eyes. And once Everine has her on hold, I'll quickly run over there and try to tie her up with her hands bound.
Right. Carmen, you're unaware of all of this that's going on. Artus, in your mind, he's starting to berate you. You're just weak. You failed.
I failed. I failed. Says you. I didn't fail. I was trying to save people. You should be ashamed hiding on top of a temple for 100 years.
You could have done so much more with this power, girl.
I'm not finished yet.
Then take it. Run with it. Don't allow these fools to get the better of you. They're going to take this away from you. They're going to make you less. Don't let them. Don't let them.
You just don't want to be lonely. They take this off of me. You lose me. You're gone. It's not about me. You're just doing it for yourself.
Foolish girl.
Old man.
Unfortunately, he can't do anything, and in that moment you watch as the Artus that is in front of you is torn from you. The curse removed completely, the attunement to the weapon gone. All levels of your corruption are gone.
Yes.
You are back to normal, but the ring is still around her neck. What are you guys doing with the ring?
Well, I'm touching it to remove the curse, and then I'm taking it.
Okay.
Is that remove the curse from the ring or from Carmen?
It just removes it from Carmen.
Okay.
You can't remove a curse from a cursed item without destroying the item. Okay. You sense the presence within the ring. You sense that it is malicious. It's angry.
I put it in a bag, and I tie the bag, and I conceal the bag.
Okay. Wisdom save.
I need a bag of holding.
Yeah, we do. Wisdom.
Okay. You have the ring. You have control over it for now. It doesn't corrupt you. You seem to be okay. We'll rejoin this next week on Crituitous RP. The ring is starting to cause problems. Serious problems within the party. Thankfully, Carmen is no longer affected by it in any way, and you immediately recognize that you know that this is an evil item that was manipulating you for a while, and your family's safe. Everything that the ring possibly posed to you doesn't concern you anymore.
No.
You are completely fine. Right. Rejoin us next week when we continue this adventure as the party continue heading towards Omu. Campfire RP this week will probably have a bit of an intense as we go over this. Be gentle with each other, please.
Please.
And we'll see you all next week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. check out our Tumblr, crituitousrp.tumblr.com, and support us by following us here, subscribing on Twitch, or supporting us on our Patreon. That is patreon.com/Tevent. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night.